positive with the peak impact mentorship learning and the book reading sessions what we are conducting throughout the week. So great. So I'll like to welcome you all for today's excited session again on the growth, which is one of the important topics throughout the week. So great. So I'll like to welcome you all for today's Okay, excitement is so huge. There was a echo.
Yes, Hemant, it was from my end. So I was starting YouTube. So I forgot to mute it.
Okay. Great. So people are joining in right now. So right now, who all joining for the first time? I know there are people who are joining on YouTube also on the YouTube channels who are joining for the first time this session. You can either chat with us or you can raise your hand. The most probably you can chat, put the message on the chat so that we'll know who all joining for the first time.
Guys, you can put a message from which place you are from. So that would be helpful. And if you're a first timer, please let me know your name and from which place you are. So we want to know about you. Great. Nilesh from Pune. Wonderful. Welcome. Good. Deepak has raised his hand and Arun, couple of people. Great. Wonderful. And Sanjay Sharma from Delhi. Great. Deepak from Hyderabad. Great. Wonderful, guys. So let me give you some brief idea about myself. My name is Vishwanath, born, brought up in Bangalore. And I'm working in IT industry close to 15 years for one of the product-based company. The best part is I'm part of this PM community, which has helped me in the grow in career as well as in my life. Lo Vijay will show the always a wheel of life, right? That is much required for us. Only not our life is not only for career. We have a couple of things. First timers, you'll be seeing that Vijay may share. Good. Warm welcome to all. So Hemant bhai, why don't we invite few people who are ready to share the excitement, and you can invite few people, Hemant bhai. Then we will go ahead.
Sure, Vishwa. So I'd like to first invite Mithilesh. Mithilesh is very consistent in all the sessions till now and very consistent on the book reading also. So I'll unmute Mithilesh to basically share his learning. Mithilesh, are you able to unmute yourself?
Mithilesh, you need to unmute. Let me unmute from it. Please go ahead. I have unmuted you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Myself is Mithilesh Kumar. Last 3 months, I have been part of PIM, and I am feeling myself very lucky that I am the part of this PIM. And last 3 months, I have never missed any workshop. And this workshop has given me the positive environment in myself. And my thinking, my attitude has changed nowadays. So everything is positive. Today, I know at least that I have to balance my wheel of life. Today, I know what I have to say to myself. So everything is going nice. Today, I know that how to approach any problem. I don't know the solution of each and every problem, but I know how to approach a problem so that I can solve it. So I want to thank you. Thanks, Vijay sir. I want to thank you, the entire PIM team. I want to thank you. Thanks, my coach, Rajiv Ranjan sir, Hemant sir, Sanjay sir. Thank you very much to entire PIM team. Thank you very much.
Great, Mithilesh. Thanks, welcome. Thanks for sharing your learning and looking out for the same consistency going forward. Vishwa, you want to invite from your side?
Yes, of course. Good. Let me invite Neelam. So Neelam, I have unmuted you. You can go ahead. You can unmute from your end, Neelam, and you can go ahead and share your excitement.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Neelam. Today, I am going to share my learnings from PIM. When I came to this session, I was confused to select which is appropriate to my life. After coming to this PIM session, I can easily relate to my life. When I came to this session, I was not so confident of talking to people. I have improved myself in public speaking skills, and I am very thankful for the opportunity given from PIM. Thank you for changing thoughts process that I can do anything in my life. Thank you to Vishwanath sir, Shruti ma'am, and Netra ma'am also for giving this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Great, great, Neelam. Wonderful. So let me invite one more person. My name as Anku Babu. So let me see. Anku Babu is there. Anku Babu, I don't see. Yeah, Anku Babu is there. Let me unmute. Okay, Anku Babu, you can unmute from your end. I have unmuted you. You can share your excitement.
Yeah, sure, Vishwa. Sure. Hi, everyone. Myself, Anka Babu. Srini has introduced me to PM sessions. I have been attending PM sessions consistently from more than a month now. So let me share my experience, how the sessions have been and how they are helping me. I will share my experience by sharing a small story. So when I was studying plus two, plus one, plus two, I was preparing for IIT and I was preparing for AEEE. So that time I was very passionate about organic chemistry. So what I do, I read a lot of books and I attend classes very enthusiastically, very energetically, and I note down every each and every point, and I read other books. For example, the candidates are strict to only few books, so one or two books, but I read more than two books. I read at least 5 7 books and understand the whole concepts from different people, and I prepare a notebook for myself for each chapter. So one day what happened? So I used to score very good marks consistently in each exam, organic chemistry. So one of my friend, what he did was, "Arey yaar, this guy is scoring very consistently. Let me take help from him." So what he did was, he took my uh, book and he made a Xerox copy of it, and he prepared only that, because he doesn't have any other book, so he doesn't have any option. So he took my book and he read that one. He got very good marks. Okay, from that time onwards, what he do? So he will wait till I finish my preparation or complete that book. He will take that book and read it, only stick to that. He won't even deviate from it. He will just read that book, and he will score very consistently like me. Okay, so PM sessions are like that for me. So Vijay sir is doing all the work, and Vijay sir and all the team is doing all the work and making it very concise and giving you very relevant information to you. All we need to do is stick to that. Don't deviate from it. Stick to that and execute it properly. So that is going to uh, help you a lot. So you will see this as the time goes by. Okay, that is fine. That is what I want to share. Okay, thank
A
you.
wonderful, wonderful, Anka Babu. So Hemant bhai, you can invite two more people. You can go ahead and invite Hemant bhai.
Okay, sure. So first I want to invite Parul. Is Parul there?
Parul, yeah, he's there. I'll unmute him. Hey Parul, I have unmuted you. Please go ahead. You can unmute from your end and you can share. Uh, you need to
Parul, you
unmute
have
from your
to
end.
unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, now
Hello
you can go
everyone, this is Parul. It has been more than 2 months that I'm attending PIM session and book reading club. Aradhya sir introduced me to this group and I'm really grateful to be part of this group. Every week we are learning something new. In one of the session, Vijay sir told us, never believe that any problem is unsolvable. And that is the greatest takeaway for me. Because now I see every challenge as an opportunity and it gives such an ample amount of positive energy to do any task in most of the cases. Every week he's challenging our age old beliefs which we were following unknowingly. So that's great. In addition to this, book reading club is amazing because in that we correlate our personal experience with the author's key points and it becomes very easy to inculcate those things in our habits. So thank you everybody for Vijay sir and other people for that. Thank you.
Okay, great. So thanks, Parul, for sharing your learning. And next, I have one more, Karthik. Karthik is also very consistent with all the PM session for last 3 months. So is Karthik
There are three Kartiks, Hemant. You can select.
Kartik Day. I'm not able to unmute. Yeah, Karthik, you can go ahead. I am spotlighting you. Yeah, you can unmute Karthik from your side.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, hi all, good evening. My name is Karthik. I'm presently living in Hyderabad. And I thank you, Hemantji and Rajiv Ranjan, to give me this opportunity to join this wonderful group. And as Hemantji already mentioned that I have been here for almost last 3 months. Actually, this is my 13th appearance consecutively without any break. And I think that whatever is happening today here is nothing less than a revolution. PIM through its educational platform and book reading, I think creating a lot of entrepreneurs, coaches, and mentors and teachers for future, and I think who have the potential to change our country. And that's what I'd like to believe, and I'm very much excited about the whole concept, and I strongly believe that all of us will reach the stars. Thank you.
Great, great, Karthik. Thanks for sharing your learning, and great. The consistency is much more appreciated, because attending a one session is very easy. Attending the second session may be a little challenging, but attending the every session of PM and book reading over the period, it's really a developing a good habit. So great. So Vishwa bhai, over to you. You have anyone to invite?
So I would like to invite. I'm not seeing these people here. Abhishek. I hope 1 second. Let me see. Abhinav. Hemant bhai, are you able to see Abhinav by name?
No, no.
No, right?
No issues. So what I'll do, right? I will invite one more person. Then till Abhinav may be late in joining. So Debashish. Yeah, Debashish. You have to unmute yourself.
I already unmuted.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, hi everyone. I am Devashish Ghosh. I am from actually West Bengal. A little bit different field. Actually, Karthik Chandra Dey, he introduced me in this PIM's amazing PIM's this like we can say family, PIM family, and this book reading particularly club. And actually, I am from chemistry and I did my PhD and postdoc. 4 years postdoc research experience, and now I am a just a assistant professor, joined 1 year in a private university. But recently, just like within 15 days, you can say, I joined in this new group, and this is my second actually session I am attending this PIM. And book reading also I am regularly attending this three book reading. I already 3 class I attended. So I already learned a lot because it's I look a lot of things I don't know, even how I can express myself, even like little bit different field, and for different platform, because I am little bit technical person. I am expert little bit in technical ways, I can say, but not in like this type of things. So at least for me, for my type of student, or my type of anyone who are little bit different, not in directly in engineering, from science background also, they can learn a lot from this type of background. So uh, on behalf of them also, I could say it's a very good platform to grow. So it's I could say I am gradually learning from here every day. So thanks from my side. So I thank PIM also for giving me opportunity to introduce. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful, guys. The time is up. So we have few more people who are really excited to share the excitement, but we'll call once again. We have a small time break when Vijay is taking this workshop. So great, guys. So Vijay is already, he's ready now. So I don't want to delay much. Many people are ready. I want you to pay attention here. And I hope you got the worksheet. What I would say is nothing but don't much focus about taking notes. The person who has invited you, he will be sharing the recordings. So go through it. I would say that since I'm part of this PM, attend a lot more workshops by Vijay. And also one thing, this workshop has a lot more content which you need to digest. It will take some time. I want you to listen to the same video 2 or 3 times. You'll get more info. So that right now focus on the what Vijay is teaching. You can make a notes. You can't make immediately, But the person who has invited you, he can help you out. Please go to the recordings, then once again you can make your notes. But focus on what Vijay is trying to say, that will help you out. So without much delay, I want to invite Vijay. So before inviting Vijay, first timers who are coming down here. So Vijay is passed out from IIT Madras, having close to 13 years of experience in VLSI top-notch companies. The best part is, after 13 years, he started his own venture and very successful running there. Then he started to help more people, started a community called as Peak Impact Mentorship right now. And he's inspiring a lot more people to become a leader and lead teams across. So without much delay, I would like to invite Vijay. Over to you, Vijay.
Thank you. Thank you. Is my voice audible, Visa? Is it coming clear?
Yes, Vijay, your voice.
Perfect. All right. So you can mute all so that there will be no confusion. So you can mute all. There will be no headache later on. Okay, done. So I think we are done for it. You can spotlight. All right. So first, congratulations and thank you all of you for being here. If you're here for the very first time, I would give a sincere welcome to you. That you have taken the first step towards your growth journey, and trust me, this will be an amazing journey. And I can promise you one thing for sure, that if you are with us for next 1 year, you will be 10 steps ahead of all your known circle. Why? Because the whole world, only less than 5% people focus on their personal growth. They are more worried about the children's growth, they are more worried about the children's education. But when it comes to the education of the parent, they think they are now done, and that's where the problem is. So congratulations once again, that if you have been coming here for the very first time, and if you're coming for the repeatedly for some time, if you are here for more than 10 sessions, I would say you are already getting the benefits out of it. You might be seeing the difference in your way you look towards life, because it is not easy to consistently come. That means you are serious about your growth. That means that you have already completed 4 5 books, because I recommend a lot of books to read. That means you're already collaborating in book reading club, and not only that much, you might be at the verge of starting your own book reading club. That's what is most probably, things are happening that way. And I'm really happy with the growth. Presently we run close to 29 book reading club, and that's an amazing things. What is book reading club, you'll come to know anyways. But before you go further, today is the second session of the topic which I started last week. The topic which I started last week was around creating a growth atmosphere for yourself, for your company, if you're owner of a company, if you're a tech lead, for your for your group, if you're a manager, for your entire team. The whole idea was to create a growth atmosphere for yourself and for the people for whom you are responsible. That is the whole idea. So how do we create it? The last week I covered 5 points, and today I have another 5 points for you. So we'll go step by step. I'll go very slowly so that you guys can take it. But having said that, even if I go slowly, still it will be detailed content for you. And that's the reason you get the YouTube link also. And in the end, I will have a question answer session also. I'll take half an hour to have some question answer session. Those questions can be around what you're learning today, or something you learned last week or some other weeks. I would be open for that. So it will be 3 sessions. So first I'll cover half an hour, then I'll give you a break of 7 to 10 minutes. Again, I'll come back so that you can retain more data, and then we'll have a question answer session. So before we go, let me bring you back here so that you are mentally, physically, and emotionally here. For that, I want you to take 10 long breaths, and there's a power in that. Once you take 10 long breaths and relaxly go, your brain becomes calm. And I would encourage you, if possible, if you're attending from mobile phone, that's another story. Otherwise, switch off your mobile phone or else put it in silent mode. Nothing can go wrong in next 2 hours, because already it's 9 o'clock in the evening and everything is done. So switch it off, keep it aside. If you're watching from laptop, then mobile is definitely to be turned off, or else at least put it in silent mode without vibration. Just like I have put my mobile right now on silent mode without vibration, and turn down the screen so that nobody can disturb you for next 2 hours. Today it's the biggest challenge. Then secondly, I'll tell you, try to grab more and more. I will try to cover some personal experiences which will help you to grow, and then we'll go further. Okay, so let's close our eyes and take 10 deep breaths, and we'll take a small prayer of 4 lines. Long breath. Okay, take deep breath, as deep as possible. I have tremendous mind. I'm tremendously capable. I can accomplish whatever I want. I have tremendous powers. I'm extremely healthy. My health is at the peak. and I'm growing in my life. I'm enjoying my life. And more importantly, thank you, God, for giving me an opportunity to learn and grow. You can repeat this prayer, it will help you. Thank you, God, for sending a messenger who opened the door of PIM in my life. And thank you, God, for giving me the wisdom to be part of a growth roadmap. And thank you, God, for helping me learn something new. And thank you, God, for helping me concentrate mentally, physically, and emotionally to learn to help myself and others to grow in their life. Now, slowly open up your eyes and let's get started. So, let me first recap what we covered last week. If you're not part of the last week, nothing to worry. They're not interconnected. It's just I'm going through 5 points so that you can recall, and then we can build it up from there. And it's available in recording, so you can buy same 100 rupees. You can buy it and learn it and grow more. The first point I covered, that how will you know whether you're in a growth atmosphere? The point number one I said was others are ahead of you. If you are the topper of your class, it is good for your boosting your self image, it is good for making you feel good, but it is not good for your growth. For your growth, you need an atmosphere where others are ahead of you. You have somebody to know, somebody to have a role model where you can see, okay, this is the growth, I am here, and there is still a gap left. Very, very important. Next question was how to get it. I gave you 7 parameters. The first parameter I gave you was you need a systematic growth environment, and for that PIM comes into picture, where we have a systematic growth environment for every one of you if you're serious about your growth. Second point I covered was experiences should be there. Somebody should be able to teach you from the experiences. See, what is the difference between a YouTube video and somebody who can coach you? Difference is, in a YouTube video, the person may not be accessible to you. You may listen to there are a lot of successful people whose videos are on YouTube, but they're not accessible. So that's the limit. So here what happens in PIM, we share experiences, personal experiences, which can take you to the next level. That is the second point I covered. Third point I covered was there should be continual oversight and guidance. Somebody should be able to guide you on a regular basis. Okay, this is where you're going wrong. This guidance is needed on a regular basis. Fourth point, you should have the best resources in your hand. And these PIM workshops are nothing but they're the best resources, where it is coming out of a lot of book readings and a lot of personal experience, which I gather for a whole week, and I make it possible that it goes in your mind straight and you can use it right away. I mean, just tomorrow morning you can start applying these principles. That's so powerful. So it means you have to have best resources in your hand. Fifth point was a mentoring program should be there where somebody can set you apart. And in PIM we have book reading club, we have a coaching program where we can take you apart provided you are serious about your growth. And sixth was there should be certain opportunities and experiences which can be life changing for you and others. And the seventh point was a family that embraces significant values. And PIM I always consider as an extended family. So if you are here today, I actually welcome you to our joint family. It's a big joint family of 1,000+ people. So it's a family which I'm giving to you. That's the first point I covered. If you want a growth atmosphere, you need others to be ahead of you. And in that, there are 7 points which I covered last week in detail. So today I'm not covering. Second point you should know for the growth atmosphere was you are continuously challenged. You are challenged continuously. Third point I covered was your focus is forward, not backward. It's always easy to talk about past. Always. I know a lot of people who have succeeded in past. They are successful today, but now they're basking in the glory of success so much that they don't have any other goal. They're not aiming for significance anymore. And that's the problem. The reason is they're not in a growth atmosphere. If your focus is backward, if your vocabulary always have past was like this, I was good in this, there was a great college days, there was the best company of my life in past company. If you're always talking about past, that means you have nothing to talk about future. So what are the 3 ways to focus forward? I covered it last week. I'm just giving 3 summaries. Keep growing in your life because growth has no end. I mean, my coach, John Maxwell, always says this: you should have certain dreams which you cannot accomplish even after your death. That means you always have a growth roadmap in your hand. Keep control of your life. It's not that somebody else is controlling. They always say, in that I covered, either you are on a table or you're on the menu. Either you decide your life or else somebody else is going to design your life. In another word, by default life versus designed life. That choice is in your hand. Third point I covered was keep distractions out of your life. And today, it is so difficult to decide what to do. In fact, I'll tell you, I have so many things to do. I have to run my PIM workshop. I have to conduct my solutions. I have parenting role. And obviously, because of COVID, there's no maid. So home responsibilities all there and jumbled up. Then I have to do my other stuff. 6 to 7 things I have to do parallelly. I have my business. I run 2 businesses right now. One is PIM and one is another business of mine which I run. So when I run all this thing, imagine how many things I have to accomplish. That means Every Saturday evening, let's say today is my reset button. So every Saturday evening, I reset my week. Now I have to decide this entire week what else should I read for my personal growth? What else should I do for my business growth? What else should I do for other growth of my life? These are all things I decide in week advance, and I plan it as good as possible. And 70% things I accomplish for sure. 100% I cannot. In fact, if you are accomplishing 100%, probably you are setting very low goal. 30% stretch should always be there, and I always stretch myself. Fourth point I covered was there should be an affirming atmosphere. If you're in an atmosphere where everybody is criticizing you, very difficult to grow, very difficult. So you mean you need somebody who can affirm you. That's how you boost up, right? You boost up your children. How do you boost up? When they fall down, you raise them, and come on, nothing to worry, go ahead. The same, it doesn't mean that only kids need it. We adult also need that same affirming atmosphere, because without that affirming atmosphere, it's very difficult to grow. So I covered this last time in detail. And the last point I covered last time was you are out of your comfort zone. And in that, I gave you 3.4 points also. That comfort zone and gift zone, I covered it. I'll not cover now. And then today I'll say, if you're in a growth atmosphere, the first thing you'll identify is how do you wake up in the morning? I was talking, right? You're gulping or you are yawning is the question mark. So if you have to wake up excited, a lot of people ask me, Vijay, how are you excited always? I mean, last time also some people asked me. The first, I'll give 5 points why I'm excited about my life. First point, the reason I'm excited is I know I am making a difference in people's life. See, when I'm doing a PIM session right now, money is one part, that's fine. I can make some money out of it for sure. But the more important part is this: because of this, right now, overall, there are 500 plus people. Some are on YouTube right now, and some are observing it from Zoom. I'm happy that I am adding some difference in their life. I'm adding some value in their life. It means I am making a difference in their life. Now, you tell me, if you are going to make a difference in people's life, will you wake up excited or will you wake up dull? That's a question mark. Now, the reason I know I'm adding value, so it means tomorrow morning will I read a book. The purpose will not be just for the sake of reading. The purpose will be when I want to learn something new. Not only learning something new, I have to pass on that learning to somebody. Somebody's life will be better because of me. Now tell me, will you be excited or not? If you're not waking up excited, you don't have a purpose to wake up anymore. You're just another ordinary human being who is just waking up, who is just actually killing the day. And I don't have a single minute to kill. I don't have. I have so many things to accomplish, not from the sake of greedy point of view, because we have to add value to people's life. You have to make difference in people's life. You have to be energetic. You have to be excited. Otherwise, how will you do it? Very, very important. And that's why I'm excited about it. Second, the reason I am excited and the reason I wake up excited is I know I'm helping people, not only impacting their life, I'm also helping. Everyday basis, I voluntarily take 2 to 3 calls. Obviously, a lot of people want to talk to me, and I don't have time for everybody. Not possible for me, though I want to talk. But I make sure that every day I take 2 to 3 calls just for voluntary purpose to help others. If I can add some value to somebody's life, if I can that's I'm excited about. If somebody's life can be better because of my half an hour call, I think it will be great. Why not? If I can add some value, why not? It means I have dedicated my 1 hour for that purpose a day. That 1 hour is meant only for helping people. Just if I can listen to their problem, and if their problem is in my reach, and if my suggestion can help them, I'll be happy, more than happy for that. Everything cannot be quantified for money, for sure. And this is the reason I'll be excited. Now tell me, if you also have something like that in your life, will you be excited or not? That's very, very important. Third thing, I have found what I meant for, to be very honest. I'm no more looking if you ask me what is my next 20 years roadmap, I have it in my mind. To be honest, I have it. I am no more thinking what to experiment. By 30, I started hunting for what am I meant for, to be honest. By 30, I started looking for what am I meant for. If somebody defined Vijay is meant for that, I started looking for it. And it took me 4 5 years to find out what am I good in and what will I excel in. It took me 4 to 5 years. And if you are thinking you will come to know automatically, let me tell you bad news. It is not going to happen automatically. You have to experiment. You have to experiment by losing your money. You have to experiment by investing your time. I will not say losing your time. You will invest your time. You will lose your money. You'll put your effort, and then you'll find out what are you great at. And you cannot find out what are you great at just by playing safe, by staying in your comfort zone. You cannot find out. So I have run businesses, I've got into sales and marketing, I've gone to door-to-door selling, I've done everything. What is door-to-door selling? Talking to people, knocking them, are you looking something to do, is door-to-door selling for me. I have done all those things in my life to eventually find out what am I good at. Then I found I'm good at coaching, mentoring people. Now, what is coaching and mentoring people? Without life's experience, will you get coaching and mentoring experience? A lot of people get confused. They think, Vijay, I want to do exactly what you're doing. I said, you cannot do. They said, why not? I said, you cannot do. They said, why not? I said, because you don't have any experience of life. What experience of life you have? You got out of a good college, you have a good degree, you got into a job, and you're growing in your career. That's all. What value will you add in societies? Tell me, how many rejections have you faced? How many people were against you and you still pursued your dream? Tell me. I mean, they don't have any such story. They have a story of comfort zone. They have a story of how they were just doing what society wanted them to do. Let me tell you, society wants you to be mediocre. If you want to impress people, better live ordinary life. If you want to inspire people, don't care about, just move on, follow your passion, follow your heart. If you believe it is helping society, go ahead and do it. It doesn't matter what people say to you. And until that happens, you will not have that excitement. That means this 3 points I've covered is good enough to wake you up excited. Fourth point, I'm getting better now. Once you know your calling, you know, okay, now I know my interest is, I'll be coaching, mentoring, training, developing people. If that is what I'm going to do, now I have another, I am right now 42, let's say I'm alive till 72, 30 years more. Now imagine the power of compounding. If every year I keep adding value to myself, keep adding value to myself, keep adding value to myself, by the age of 50, you know what will happen? I'll have more than 7 to 8 books, not for the sake of writing books. I always see, I want to write books, but not because just for the sake of writing book. I want to write books which should add value. If there's already a book on this topic, why should I write it? No point. But when I'm getting experience after experience after experience, that means from 50 years onwards, I'll start writing book on relationship, I'll start writing book on entrepreneurship, I'll start writing book on conflicts, I'll start writing book on marriages. Why? Because I've gone through all the experiences of life. Now those experiences are nothing but one chapter of life. Imagine when I'm talking to you right now, I might be counseling you, and your story will be one of my book. How about that? And that book is getting prepared now. That means I'm getting better on a regular basis. I have a vision of the age 2030, but the vision of 2030 is getting implemented in 2020. How about that? A lot of you have a vision of 2020, August 15th, and you're working from August 10th and expecting that is the vision. No, the vision is 10 years from now. The work is happening now, and for 7 years, there'll be no results, just working, working, working. Right now, I don't have any book on my name. But all of a sudden, when I start writing books, all the chapters are ready. Every week, I'm preparing some content for you, some content for you. Those contents are nothing but one chapter of my book, and then the book is ready, and we have content. See how much of vision you need to carry to be excited. So it means if you're not waking up excited in the morning, probably you are just worried about your career. You're just worried about your family. They're important. They're extremely important. Now, my question to you is this: if our family and our life is the only goal, then what makes us different as a human being? Because every living creature is thinking about his inner circle only. Now, does it mean you'll run away from the responsibility? No. My mentor always told me one thing, Vijay, before, as soon as possible, I will not say age, because I was lucky that at the age of 30, I got a mentorship program. My mentor told me very clearly, 5 years from now, you should not be required to run your family. When I say run your family, it's in terms of money, in terms of your other things which is required, so that a family can run without you as far as finances are concerned. Now you have time to follow your passion, follow and chase whatever you want to do. You are not irresponsible. Now let's say I'm experimenting to start a company. I will not make any money, but if I have automated my income source for my family, which needs 1.5 lakh rupee per month in 2020, that means I have choice now to run what I and do what I want to do. For that, 5 years you have to do selling, marketing, do everything you want to do, but people don't want to do all this thing, and they want to just limit themselves in life. And that's what I did. That means these experiences of life keeps you excited, and you wake up excited in the morning. And then if you do that, now if you check it in your worksheet, I have given 15 different points to identify, are you a dragger or are you having a purpose driven life? Some points I've already covered, so I'll go in detail. One point I'll touch base. If you're a dragger, how will you know you're dragging your life? Dragger means you're waking up in the morning and just thinking, man, arey yaar, day is not good. Always you have a cribbing mindset. Means 80% times when you're waking up, you're not excited. These people, and there are some group of people who wake up when they're having so many things to do. Not from the stress point of view, they're waking up for the day to, somehow the day should start. I generally sleep by 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I again wake up by 7:30, 8:30, around. I have 4 hours I sleep maximum. That's what I do. And once I wake up, I have so many things to do. I'm excited about my life. Why? Because number one, the people who drag their life, they resist opportunities. The first point in your notes, write down, they resist. If you're not able to write down, nothing to worry. And those who are purpose driven, they find opportunities. That means they're not resisting opportunities, they're always finding opportunities. And opportunities are never in your comfort zone. That's the problem. Second point, if you identify that they're a dragger or they are purpose driven, that means they rationalize their responsibilities. The people who drag their life, they rationalize their responsibility. Oh, I did not get opportunity. Oh, my luck was not good, and whatnot. They always have something to rationalize. My behavior is like this. I know my genetic things are like this. Come on, it's enough. This week I was reading this book by Wyandeer. It was an amazing book. The book's title was Excuses Bygone, and I may do it one of the topic on this in next few weeks because the content was really amazing. He talks about 18 excuses. I may cover 7 or 8, which is relevant in probably 2 weeks. I'll cover that topic. It's an amazing topic. So in that, he was talking about that it's so easy to take, just blame your genetics, blame your upbringing, and then just run away from your responsibility. So easy to do, isn't it? And then the people who are purpose driven, they finish their responsibilities. What is the difference between dating and marriage? Dating is romance and marriage is responsibility. I repeat again. The difference between dating and marriage is dating is romance, so it is very interesting. You meet with all best clothes and everything is fine. And after marriage, it is a responsibility. Now you have to take responsibility. It is no more whether you like or not. Whether it is love is a verb, not a noun. That's what Joel Osteen says in one of his book I read. It was an amazing line. I liked it. I repeat again. Love is not a noun. It is a verb. Verb is action word. It's action, and that is what is responsibility. Another point, third point, which is there, they rehearse on impossibilities. Those who are draggers in life, they rehearse on impossibility. Anything you say, the first thing they say, this is not possible. No, it will not work. It is hard and all. The first word that will come out from the mouth is no. Now, I'm training my son right now. He's growing up, and naturally, children will be at that age when they go, they always have drag. I always say, focus on your body language. Focus on your body language. Your body language should not be hanging soda. It should be like upright. Stay excited. Trust me, I'm programming him on a daily basis. It may take him another 3 years to come up to a level where he will wake up excited. And it is not easy because naturally I'm seeing him that he's not excited. He's just waked up, oh, something I have to do. I have to go to school. They don't enjoy. But imagine this small habit which they're developing now in next 5 years, 10 years. If we do not focus on it, what will happen? They will start dragging their life. And I always tell them, focus on your body language. Fifth point is they rain on enthusiasm. People who are dragger, they rain. I mean, any enthusiast, if somebody is enthusiastic about it, they will somehow find out some fault in it and they'll say it will not work. And the people who are purpose driven, they fan the enthusiasm. They will always encourage you, man, try something. How does it matter? Try. At least you try. The people who drag their life, they review their inadequacies. Now, everybody has inadequacies. I have my own share of inadequacies. If I talk about, I have right now when I'm talking to you, my English has its own inadequacies. My English may have 30% grammatical errors. How does it matter? I don't care about it because my purpose is to communicate to you so that you can get my experiences of life. It doesn't matter whether it is 30% grammatical errors. How does it matter? Because if I have to improve it right now, it's another 30 years of project for me. Is it worth? I don't think so. I don't have to write a grammar book. My whole idea is to communicate. It doesn't matter because I don't care. I am not. I review it. I know it, but I know it is not worth putting that extra 20%. It's like, there's a project of ROI. If 90% of the work is done, for that last 10%, if you have to invest your 80% energy, not worth. I let it go straightforwardly. Not worth my time. Because these are the people who are worried to go ahead. Sixth point, they replace their goals with pleasure. And the people who are purpose driven, they find pleasure in their goal. What a great idea, right? I was talking about it, this same book, The Excuses Bygone. This guy was talking about that they were doing a research and they found people are not getting exercise time. And he says mentally, people don't do exercise. So they found a lot of nurses, they do a lot of physical activity because they have to raise a patient and all. The doctor, they did a research for 3 years. They programmed them that, see, you're already doing exercise. You're already healthy. And it actually worked. They slowly, they started doing certain exercises in their routine itself. What it means, in the way they're lifting patient and they were doing other things, they found, okay, I'm doing exercise. Suddenly they were able to do 1 hour exercise now. Why? In their work itself, they figured out in such a way that they don't have to find out any extra time for exercise. What does it mean? They find pleasure in their goal. Whereas the guys who are dragging them life, they always replace goals with pleasure. Another point, they rejoice that they have not failed. They rejoice that they have not failed. That means their fear of failure is so high that they don't attempt anything. And the people who are purpose driven, they fear the futility, not the failure. It doesn't matter whether how many times I've failed, my life is filled with failures, but I don't care about it. I'm happy that I failed and learned something out of it. Second point, they rest before they finish. Draggers, they rest before they finish. And the people who are purpose driven, they finish before they rest. For them, the task has to be finished. Then only they'll rest. Before that, they cannot. Another point is they resist leadership. The people who drag their life, they resist leadership. They will always, they cannot take anybody as a leader. They will not find anybody and they will not listen to anybody. They don't care about anybody. And the people who are growing, they have purpose driven. They follow a leader. They know somebody is ahead of them and they follow a leader. Another point is they remain unchanged. People who drag their life, they remain unchanged. For them, status quo is important, and the people who are growing and they have purpose, they fish for solutions. They always fish for, they force the change, rather. They would force the change. Another point is they replay the problems. The people who actually drag their life, they replay the problems again and again. Problem after problem, they replay it. And the guys who are purpose driven, they find solutions. The fill in the blanks is they fish for solutions. They rethink their commitment. The people who drag their life, they rethink their commitment. Oh, yaar, sahi nahi hua, no? They take a project and they say, shit, man, I took a wrong project. They always script for it. And the people who are purpose driven, they fulfill their commitment. Once taken there's a saying, right? Before you start eating in a hotel, make sure that you know the budget. Otherwise, later on, cribbing is not going to help you. That's what is life. That means once you've taken the project, now don't rethink the commitment. Commitment is taken care, whatever it is, we'll finish it off. Very, very important. Last point, which draggers and purpose driven, they reverse their decision. Draggers always quit. I mean, have I quit on something? Yes, I have quit on something. I have never quit on something just because it is difficult. Remember, I repeat again, I have never quit on something just because it is difficult. I have quit on something if it is not aligning my core values, if it is not aligning my purpose. Just because something is difficult, I not quit. I have proven it. I'm not just saying for the sake of saying. I have proven it. I failed in GATE exam twice. I completed. I attempted so many things to get my desired branch. I attempted it. I never quit in between. The time my business was not growing, I attempted. I was not willing to quit. I thought of quitting multiple times. I am also a human being, but my internal core said, "No, Vijay, you cannot." I was struggling in a marriage, but I said, "No, quitting is not a solution. I have to figure out how to become a good husband." I was struggling in parenting. I figured out how to become a good father, how to learn how to what is the role of a father. I read some books. I understood some, took some counseling, took some mentorship, figured out what is the right way to do. I am not a quitter. If I take an assignment, it has to be done. That's what, sir, 15 points I have given to you. If you understand that, it will give you excitement to wake up excited in your life. That's the first point I've covered today. And it is an amazing point. I've covered 15 points. Trust me, it will take some time. So how will you do it? Right now, I'll tell you a simple idea. All these 15 points which I've covered, just presently rate yourself. Okay, be honest. Don't have to show to anybody. Presently, based on your personality, how would you rate yourself in a scale of 0 to 10? Presently, do you rehearse impossibilities, or are a possibility thinker? Do you put down somebody's enthusiasm, or are you enthusiastic in life? This 15 points which I've given you right now, what you would suggest is rate yourself 0 to 10, how much you'll rate, and be genuine about it. If you're not sure about it, rate yourself 3 for sure, because if you're crystal clear about it, you will know whether you're good in it or not. If you do not know whether this point is relevant for you, then give yourself 3 marks for sure. 3 why I'm giving, I could have given 1 also, but no, I am a positive thinker. I always give them a little bit more. I always give grace marks. Okay, I'm a soft professor. I give grace marks to people. 7th point now, failure is not your enemy. I mean, show me a person who want to grow and he take failure as the enemy. Impossible. Why? Because without failing, you cannot succeed. Now, next question come. When do you know failure is not your enemy? In your notes, write it down. My passion, fill in the blanks, is my passion to try is greater than my fear of failure. I repeat again, my passion to try is greater than my fear of failure. In your fill in the blanks, you can add passion, fear, and failure. That's what I wanted to say. Now, what does it mean? Anything you want to accomplish, I already told you, right? It is not in your comfort zone. I'll give an example. Take an example, it's a mouse. Okay, this is my dream. So if I am right now here, my dream will be there. Now, if I have to reach from here to there, in between there might be some big well, there might be a big ditch, and I do not know, and all of them will look smooth. Once I start walking, I may fall in a ditch, and I have to come out of it with all dirty mud on myself, and then again I have to walk. Again, something else will come, and things. It's not a smooth path, It's not a life which very smoothly it will go. It only happens in Hindi movies. In real life, it will never happen. You have to go through a lot of struggles. If that is the case, then how do you change the perception towards failure? Because failure is going to happen anyways. Only thing you have to do is change our perception. But I have done a course on it, a detailed course on it, a 6-week course it was there. And if you have not attended that, I would encourage you. That is one of my highest selling course, worth going through it 1,000 times, by the way, because failure is something which is very synonymous to life. So go to that course. It's a 600 rupees course, almost 9 hours course. I have given 9 hours course with 6 worksheets for you. Go through them, you'll learn a lot of things. So I'll give you just little bit important points on you, that how do you change the perception. First thing, point number 1, when you value the lessons, in the fill in the blanks, add lessons. When you value the lessons it has taught to you, So when I was writing this point, I thought, what are the lessons I learned when I failed? I wrote down almost 10 points, 10 lessons of my life, which I learned. First lesson I learned, this is my lesson, so you can find out your lessons. My first lesson of 10 years of entrepreneurship, more than 10 years of developing people and working with people, my first lesson was people will quit on you. My first lesson. People will quit on you. Despite that, you must invest on them. Trust me, very painful point for a leader. Why? When you invest on people, you are emotionally attached to them. And when you're emotionally attached to them, you have expectation from them. And despite that, they will grow up and they will ditch on you. They will quit on you. And if they quit on you, I have found majority of people become bitter. And then they say, man, now I'll not invest on people anymore. I've created a wall in between me. I will make sure that there's only professional relationship, no more close connection with anybody. What happens now? That bitterness will limit the leader's potential, because if you do not connect well with people, if you do not connect well with people, you cannot inspire them for a bigger vision. That means now you are stuck in life, you will be lifelong stuck in it. Then what do? Does it mean I'll become vulnerable? Absolutely, all leaders are vulnerable, trust me. And in my experience of more than 12 years in my entrepreneurship and people development, more than, I would say, how many people, if I count on it, I didn't count on it, but for sure 30 plus people have quit on me. 30 plus people have quit on me. And when they quit on me, I've invested more than 2 to 3 years on them. And after that, if 30 people quit on you, oh my God, so much of pain. But if you don't handle that pain, you are not a leader anymore. Forget it. When I say leader, don't go by leadership position. You are not going to succeed in life anyway. So first lesson. Now, if I know this is a lesson, what will happen now? I don't care. I still, till now I'm telling you, I invest my time on people. And I know this, some of them may quit on, but still I invest my time. Why? Because that is the only thing, that is my purpose of life. If that is clear, now I don't have to worry. That means there is no more emotional. I can get attached, I can get detached. I can get attached, I can get detached. I am one of those person who get emotionally attached 100% with you. If I'm with you, 100% I am with you. If you tomorrow says, sir, I want to move on, I immediately detach myself, cut. Not that I'm enemy of you now. I can easily move on myself. It's okay, move on, fine. I don't have any grudges for you. I'll not give negative feeling to you, but I'm out. That's the only way you can live peacefully. Otherwise, you are gone. It's one of the most important lesson of my life, which I learned. Second lesson I learned: people will blame on you. This is amazing. People will blame on you, and they will be interested to take credit. It means when you start a work, and if you do something wrong by any chance, which you will do because your human life is all filled with errors. So if you did something wrong, it will be zoomed. They'll take a lens and zoom it. But if something good has happened, nobody will observe it, by the way. So imagine how selfish people are. If something good is happening, nobody's observing. If anything by any chance happens wrong, people will say, oh, it is wrong, sir. It is wrong. I remember one of the person sent me an example, something like I wrote it downstairs. There is a 3 grammatical errors. I said, wow, you didn't saw the whole message. It was such an interesting message. You couldn't see that. You only saw grammatical errors in it. I said, thank you, but I improved on it. I worked on myself. But I'm seeing naturally people's first tendency to see the bad things before they see the good things. And I know it's part of life. You get paid for that. That's fine. Third point, people have ego. This third lesson I learned from my life, people have ego. And they'll say they don't have ego. That's surprising. I'll tell always. People have ego, and they'll always say I don't have ego. The moment they say they don't have ego, always know they have the highest ego in the world. So be very careful with them. This is my third lesson of my life. Anybody who says they don't have ego, they have the highest ego in the world. Be careful with them. Because if somebody don't have ego, he don't have to say at all that I don't have ego. He'll be normal. He'll be quite normal. It is not easy because they say, but they are not able to do it. Anybody who say they, it's like, all mad people say I'm not mad. That's what exactly is with ego. Those who say they don't have ego, be careful with them because they have the highest ego in the world. So you will be in deep trouble if you don't understand this message. Fifth lesson of my life. This is again around ego. People will hurt your ego. People will hurt your ego, but they expect you to treat them very politely and softly. This is amazing, right? That's how it is leadership lesson. If you learn it, then you will be relaxed. That's actually how to learn lesson from failure. If you learn these lessons of failure, you will be okay to fail from now on. That means people will hurt your ego, but then they expect the world to be soft to them. They expect the world to treat them nicely. Isn't it contrary? Is it really paradoxical or not? But that's his world. What to do? The world is filled with that. And I'm in a voluntary business. I invest my time and I see this every day happening in my life. And I'm so happy with that. I said, "Ye to hota rahega, life hai. This keep on happening." Seventh point is I found people want to feel important. My seventh lesson of life, people want to feel important, but they can't give importance to people. Wow, that is awesome, isn't it? People want to feel important. They want to be limelight. But when it comes to give credit to others, they are very stingy. No. Everything I have done. If anything good has happened, it is because of my hard work. If anything wrong has happened, my luck. Come on, take responsibility both, na? They don't. So if anything, always they'll even blame somebody, but when it comes to give credit, they cannot give. They're very stingy about that. Taking credit, they are always having a bank balance to take it. They're like givers and takers, right? They only want to take. They cannot give somehow. Giving means their face is gone. You will see their face suddenly become dumb. Oh, I have to give. What is this? You give, man. Come on. There's no other option. But they cannot. Then the last lesson which I found, last two lesson, negatives will be multiplied by 10. Negatives will be multiplied by 10 and positive will be divided by 1000. Neki kar darya mein dal. Have you heard it? Now that's not what I mean. What I say is you do it. Whatever is happening, don't worry about it. That is the only way you can handle failures. Otherwise, I'm telling you, you will end up living a very mediocre life. Because you're thinking it is happening only to you. Let me tell you, anybody who is successful, these same 10 lessons they can relate. I guarantee you give this lesson to Ratan Tata, they'll say, exactly, sir, this same lesson I also have. You give it to any successful people, they'll say, sir, these lessons are mine also. Because they are universal lessons. So nothing to worry. And I can validate it with my experience. So I'm telling you, these are the lessons which I have also learned. It is not from some book. I just write down this lesson, that which are the lessons and what makes me to handle failure further with excitement. These are the lessons. And the last lesson which I found, people don't have patience. Listen carefully. People don't have patience, but they expect patience from you. Isn't it surprising? They don't have patience, but they want you to have patience. I mean, I understand a small child behaving like that, but when an adult, 40-year-old, 50-year-old behave like that, they don't have patience for anybody, but they want you should be patient. Yeah. I know that's truth. If you can handle this 10 lesson, now what will happen? So, point number one, I said, when you value the lessons it has taught you, you can handle failure. Point number two, and once you understand this lesson, then point number two is quite obvious. If you can understand this, it will not control you. Now listen, just let me go back into all this lesson and let me explain you, because these are the three most important points. That when it does not control you, when you fill in the blanks, add when it does not control you. And third point also let me add, and then I'll tell you the same lessons with the meaning. Third point is when you use your failures to teach and help others. That's what I'm doing right now, right? I'm using my failures to teach you and help you. So let me tell you what exactly I meant by point number one, point number two, and point number three. So point number one was what? First, my passion to try something new is bigger than my fear of failure. That was what we're talking about, that failure is not your enemy. In that, what I said was, when you value the lessons it has taught you, you will never have problem with failure. And I gave you 10 lessons of my personal life. Those lessons I gave you. Now let me tell you what I meant. If you can understand this lesson, then it will not control you. Otherwise, it will control you. I told you, right? This is, if you know people have to quit on you. And if the people who are quitting you are making you bitter, then what does it mean? They're controlling you, isn't it? If you're expecting patience from people and you don't have patience, that means what? You're not learning lesson from it. If you learn all this lesson, that means it cannot control you. And once it cannot control you, then you can use your failures to teach others. On whose name autobiography is written? Autobiographies are written on those people's name who have faced all the hardship in life. They have failed so many years in life, and that by the time they come to the end of their life is worth living. So they write down their autobiography. Ki boss, it's worth, it will help a lot. They don't write autobiography just to satisfy their ego, because they will die anyways. What is the point in writing autobiography? The reason is their autobiography can help a lot of people, which can help them to succeed in their life. And that is the goal. So when you do this, it will help you to succeed slowly. So now in this case, I'll tell you, when should you share your failures? Now failures are a dual-edged sword. When should you share and why should you share? I'll tell you now these 2 points. So when should you share? Share your failures when it helps others. I always share my personal experience. Whenever I see somebody demotivated in life, I share them one of my failure experience. Otherwise, I don't share. See, just to get my personal glory, there's no point in sharing my failures. Second thing, I will never share those failures which I have not overcome. There are certain failures in my life which I have not overcome yet, and I never talk about those failures. Why? Because they are still work in progress. If there is something work in progress, why to talk about those failures? I will always talk about those failures of my life which I have overcome. Let's say I always talk I'm a school dropout. Why am I talking about it? I'm IITian now. Being a school dropout, I am IITian. So now I can tell you both the side of the story. When I was school dropout, why was I a school dropout? From that transition to this transition, what did I do? Then I was an employee struggling in a job, to finding my passion, to become a full-time entrepreneur. So I can tell my these failures also. I only talk about those failures which I have overcome and it can help others. So the word is others. Next question, why should you share your failures? I've met with a lot of successful people. They want to showcase people only their success. And I always tell them, man, how will you connect with people? You cannot connect with people by talking about your success. Trust me, you cannot. So if you're a leader, let me tell you, be open with people. Be open. Let people know your weaknesses. Some of you may think, oh, they will use me. Let me tell you bad news. All your people who are reporting to you in your company right now, they know your weakness. Trust me, they know your weakness. The earlier you accept them, the better they feel. Oh, thank God my manager knows it. At least he's, see, if I'm not good in organizing thing, what is the harm in saying, I mean, I can help, take help from people. They can help me out. Very, very important. But people want to project as if they are the neat and clean. Nothing is wrong in their life. If that is the case, trust me, you cannot connect with people. So why should you, when should you relate? I'll give you an example. Why should you relate? First, it makes you reachable. Point number one, in your notes, write down why you should share your failures. Point number one is it makes you reachable and relatable. Why is it like that? See, when somebody is successful, there's a big gap already. Let's say now I'm somebody who's from IIT, I have running my own business, I am not in job anymore. So obviously I'm successful compared to a lot of people. But I'm successful to a lot of people cannot even think of connecting with me. There's a big gap now. There's a big success gap right now. So if I talk about my success anymore, how does it help to others? It doesn't help. So what should I do? I'll go and tell them, man, don't worry about my present. Let's go where I was struggling to find one student who will learn from me. When I was struggling to find my first client in my business, when I was struggling to all these things, that is where they will connect. Because their present is my past. That's where they connect. And if I cannot connect with that, how will they take me as a lead? They cannot take me as a lead. They cannot take me as a mentor. They cannot take me as a coach. Correct or not? So it means the reason you should share your failures is because it makes you reachable and relatable. Second point, why you should share. Failures has many lessons to teach others. I gave you my 10 lessons. Where did it came from? It came from failures. It didn't came from success. Third point, these are true. I mean, that's the truth of life because all of us has failures. And the moment it is relatable with people, then I'll tell you, they'll start thinking, oh man, he's also like us only. Then they can connect and then probably you can help them. Otherwise, they will always talk at a superficial level. And at a superficial level, you cannot help people. So if you're at a leading position, let me tell you one simple idea which you can apply tomorrow morning itself. If you're at a leading position in your company right now, or let's say you're married and in your marriage you've been trying to defend your weakness for so many years, it's okay to say, man, this is something my area of weakness and I'm working on it. So please help me out. Trust me, your spouse will start taking extra care. Okay, at least she'll be happy or he will be happy that my spouse right now knows his weakness. Like I know certain of my weakness, certain things. Let's say I want some the way it has. Let's say my table right now, the way I want my table, I know it. And if my spouse knows it, at least he knows. Let's say the way my spouse want her kitchen or she want the way her bathroom. If we know each other's need, what happens? I can fulfill her need. Very, very important. Now, the last point is in this same point, quality of the right people. It means if you have to fail now, if you have to handle failures, what do you need now? This failing, it looks very easy. You need quality of people to handle those failures. Because as I told, right, if the atmosphere is not affirming, you cannot handle failures. So what is the quality of people? I'll give you now 3 points which can help you to understand which are the right quality of people. If you are not having those people around, let me tell you good news. PIM is there for you. Peak Impact Mentorship can offer those people in your life. It doesn't take you beyond a click to disconnect yourself from all the negative people from today itself. Trust me, just disconnect themselves. Obviously, parents, you cannot, and you can grow up in your life. Spouse, you cannot. If the spouse is negative, connect them to PIM. That you can do for sure. She can also be positive, or he can also be positive. Why not? So, quality of the people. Number one, right kind of people in your life. If you're not having those people, don't get disheartened. PIM is there to offer you those people. First, they should love you, no matter what, despite your flaws. People can love you for a good things for sure, but that is superficial love. Loving people knowing their weakness is the most difficult work, and that is what is reality of life, because there is nobody in the world without weaknesses. And if somebody cannot love you with your weaknesses, probably he or she cannot love you. It's just a fictional love. Real love doesn't happen that way. Second, they can add value to you. Point number 2, in your fill in the blanks, they can add value to you. They can make you better. That means if you want an atmosphere where you can fail peacefully, number one you need is people who should love you despite your flaws. Second thing, they should add value to you. It means they should have some value system in place. Then only they can add value. Third point is they should continually grow. If they're not growing, then how are they going to add value to you, by the way? They should grow, continually grow. Point number 3. Fourth, they should walk the journey with me. And that's why I told you the difference. The difference between a motivational speaker on a YouTube and the difference between PIM is only one. PIM coaches are willing to walk with you. A motivational speaker in YouTube may not walk with you. Even if he walk with you, his fees may be $500 per hour and you cannot afford it. That means somebody from PIM can walk with you, and that what makes us different. That not only this much, we provide you atmosphere of growth, we provide you atmosphere of compassion, and we are also willing to walk with you in this journey. And the fourth point is they're excited about life. They're excited about life. And the last point is they refuel you. Not only excited about it, they're also willing to bring back you in energy. And that is where a growth environment looks like. And eighth point I'll cover today is others are growing. And then we'll take a break. I know already I have given enough stuff for you. I'll just take one more point and then I'll give you a break of 5-7 minutes so that you can digest the content, and I'll bring back the last two contents. All right? So just stay with me for another 10 minutes. Others are growing. It means if you want a growth atmosphere, by now I have covered today 2 points, and now I'm covering point number 8. Others are growing. Now, what does that mean? The most important word in a leader's vocabulary is others. I mean, when I say leader, always people get confused. If you're married, you're a leader. If you're a father, you're a leader. If you are more than 20 years, you're a leader. Why? Because you have to lead somebody. No, why 20 years? You can be 10 years. You have to lead. Others are growing. And if you want others are growing, the first point you need is grow myself. In your fill in the blanks, you can add grow myself. Before you grow others, who should you grow first? Myself. Point number 2, put others first. Very difficult. Trust me, very, very difficult. Whenever I take any of my business decisions, my first thing I ask very honestly, is it going to help them or is it only going to help me? If it is only going to help me, I know anyways it will going to fail in next few months or few years. This transaction is only short term. Until it is a win-win, it is a loss proposal long run. That's what is going to happen. Third point, give up a lot of ego. If others has to grow, if you want, others are growing, then you have to give up your ego. As I told you, right? People have ego, but they'll say they don't have ego. So if you are a leader and you want to create a growth atmosphere, you have to give up your ego. I already told you in my lesson that you have to be patient. So this is fourth point, be patient. Fifth point is be transparent. Already I've covered those points as I'm going through it right now. And then show and tell. That is most important thing. Show and tell means lead by example. Who is the leader? Who is leading by example? If you believe yourself you're a leader, now I'll not go by title. I read a lot of blogs between leaders and managers. I know a lot of managers who work as a leader, and I know a lot of leaders who are a leadership position, but they behave like non-leader. So I'd not say manager or leader because titles have nothing. Titles don't decide a person. A person makes a title, by the way. All right. That means you have to be transparent. So and tell people. Just lead by example. And seventh point is have a game plan. If you do not have a game plan, how are you going to lead? Point number 8, stay only with those who, in the fill in the blank, stay in the game and keep growing. That means if you have to grow others, you have to be in an atmosphere where others are growing. If they're not growing, then they cannot grow you. Point number 9, constantly evaluate and hold accountable. Constantly evaluate and hold accountable. And the last point, only grow those who will grow others. This is where I am very much committed. Whenever I help others, my first question I always ask them, are you a reservoir or are you a river? I always tell people, last time also I told a lot of people and some of them confused. So it means see, today you came here, okay? And today night also I'll recommend you the same thing. If possible today night, because we'll go over by another 20-30 minutes. Before you sleep, first thing what you do is go and whatever you learned, at least 3-4 points you'll remember today. Immediately write down, today through Peak Impact Mentorship, I learned this. And your summary and tag to me and tag to the coach who has invited you, tag your host. That's what happens. We are creating a positive society. We are adding. We're not only taking, we are also adding something to the table. When you got some benefit out of it, why to keep yourself? I know a lot of people, they get benefit, but they never recommend. I mean, obviously, it is from business sense, it makes sense. It will increase our business, no doubt in it. But is that business increasing only in point of making money? No, it will add more value. Because I know a lot of people who are looking for this sort of environment, but it is not affordable. Is it only we are providing this atmosphere? No, there are a lot of other people also who provide this atmosphere, but in majorly, it is not affordable. So it means always invest time on people who invest on others. That's what John Maxwell always tells me. Do not invest your time on people who will not take it further. If you are not taking it further, then there's no point in investing my time on you, because what will happen? This point will end here itself. But if you're a leader who would want to propagate the message further, then what happens? My investment of time on you will multiply on others and they will help others. That way we can create a positive society. And that's what I always tell. This is also known as gratitude, that whatever you learn, go and tag it out, share positivity, and see if a lot of people can get awareness about PIM. They can also get benefit. So that's what I can cover right now, and I'll give you 5-7 minutes of break. And after that break, I'll come back again and I have 2 more important points, and then we are done. And then end the question answer session will be amazing. So don't worry, I have given you too much of point right now already. By now, if you want, we can close the session itself. But I always give you more than you can take. That's what my principle is. And in that break session, what I can do is I can invite some of my coaches who run book reading club. As I told you, we run 29 book reading clubs, so I can invite some of our coaches, some of the people who really serve people by helping people. They, all of them, the people who I'm inviting, they all are coaching some people, more and more people, and that's how we recognize. And meanwhile, if you have not subscribed to our channel in YouTube, you can go through our Peak Impact Mentorship channel and you can subscribe. There are a lot of good videos I've made for you specially so that you can learn and grow on different topic. So it was great talking to you. I'll come back again after 7 minutes. Meanwhile, Viswa, over to you, and we will come back again. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Vijay. It was too good session. So great. So as Vijay said, let us invite few of the coaches who are always ready to help people. Let me invite Vishal and Mayuri. Let me unmute. So Vishal, I have unmuted from my end. Can you go ahead, Vishal and Mayuri?
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead, Vishal.
Hi. Good evening. I'm Vishal, and I have 14 years of experience in aerospace domain. And I'm growing with the PIM since couple of years, and I run my book club. So this fantastic. Many people are actually growing together, and we receive a lot of testimonies. Thank you, Vishwa.
Thanks, Vishal. So let me invite Srini. Srini, you can go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My name is Srinivasan. I am from Chennai. I have 17 to 18 years of experience in the semiconductor industry. I did my BTech from NIT Warangal and then my MS from BITS. And I'm passionately running a book club now and helping people to develop their growth skills. And what a power-packed session today. And one of the biggest lessons that I learned today is that you cannot connect with people by just sharing only your success. That was a very good learning for me. And I'm very excited to meet you all through this PIM workshop. Thank you, Vishwa.
Thanks. So let me invite one more coach. So let me invite Vishal and Prakshal. Vishal, you can go ahead, Vishal. I have unmuted you. Please go ahead. Yeah, you can unmute from your end, Vishal.
Yeah. Okay, you're able to hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. My name is Vishal. I am alumni of IIT Delhi, and I have been into the VLSI chip design industry for past 20 years. I belong to Jan Indore in MP and currently settled in Bangalore for past 20 years. And I've been running a book club, and then I got really passionate people along with me. So more than 7 to 8 such book club now we have been running with more than 300 people getting benefited out of it. And big thanks to PIM and Vijay for driving it. I was facing a typical middle-age crisis 1.5 year back when you don't know what is the next ambition or the next goal of yourself because you feel you have achieved everything. And through this PIM, I got my next level of dreams, visions, and goals, which will give me fuel enough for the rest of the life. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Vishal. So let me invite Vinith. So Vinith, I have unmuted from my end. Can you go ahead, Vinith?
Thank you, Vishwa. Such an amazing session going on. So I am Vineet, and I have 17 years of experience in software industry, working at a leadership position. My wife is Sunanda, a health consultant. We are running together a book club, and I belong to a place called Samastipur in Bihar, and been in Bangalore since last 4 years. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Vinith. Let me invite one more coach here. So, Kiran, over to you. I have unmuted from mine. Kiran, please go ahead.
Hey, hi everyone. So this is Kiran here. I'm alumni of IIT Kharagpur, did my BTech over there. I'm currently working on a digital healthcare startup. And currently myself and along with Bharat Supra and a few other folks are running successfully 2 to 3 book clubs and pretty passionate about growth and really blessed to be part here because the kind of knowledge Vijay is sharing is definitely priceless. Thank you, Vishwa.
Thanks, Kiran. So myself, Vishwanath, and my wife Netravati, we are also running 2 book reading clubs in Bangalore. I am natively brought up in Bangalore, and I have close to 15 years of experience in IT, and my wife is a health coach. So apart from this, PM has helped us not only mentally growing as well as health-wise also. I run the health sessions also for people. So I would say that growth is intentional, it is not optional. With this, over to Vijay.
Thank you, Vishwa. Thank you so much. I hope my voice is coming clear to all. Is it was 1 or 2 students said? Is my voice clear to all of you? Are you sure?
Yeah, it's clear.
Koi glitch nahi hai na?
No.
Perfect. So all right. So I've covered 4 most important points, and I'm sure it's already too much for all of you to take, but I'll add two last most important points to go through, and that will definitely help you. Ninth point to find out whether you're in a growth atmosphere is people desire change. Now, when I say people desire change, you are a leader. Are you open to change? And that I have already covered 2 sessions on handling changes. So if you have not been part of it, you can go ahead and buy it. All my sessions, I can tell you, this year, if you can understand 30% of my content also, you will be far more mature in life. Now, why I'm saying this, I had been getting all this lesson with my personal experience. And plus, I read a lot of books, and I also have a lot of coaches, and I invest a lot on myself. So, ninth point is people desire change. In that, in your notes, if you observe, change does not always lead to growth. Now, changing, why are you changing first? Do you think always every change will lead to growth? No. Some changes may not lead to growth at all. That's why you need counseling and proper mentoring. But one thing is for sure, you cannot grow without changing. That is for sure. That means change does not always lead to growth, but growth always need change. So when you fill in the blanks, you can add first one is change does not always growth, and growth does not always lead to change. Now, questions when people change. I see a lot of people, why they don't change. And when I mentor a lot of coaches and they come, sir, people are not changing and all this thing. I'll give you answer to all this thing today. A very interesting line. I'll give you 3 lines, very important line. When people will change. People change first when they hurt enough, they have to. The way life teaches you lessons is the only day people change is when they hurt enough. In your fill in the blank, you can add hurt enough, they have to. It means until they get hurted enough, they will not change, because the pain is the only way people understand life's lesson. Without pain, they cannot. That's why probably God gives us pain, that we can become humble and we can learn from life. So first thing is they hurt enough, they have to. Second point, the reason people change is when they learn enough, they want to. They learn enough, they want to. The first point is they hurt enough. When they hurt enough, then they know how much more can they take a hurt, so they change. When they learn enough, the time comes, right? A lot of people read books after books after books, and then the time comes, man, when will I start applying these books? I have enough knowledge now. When am I going to apply? And that is a phase of frustration, because now you know, but you're not able to apply. So now they will start changing. Last point when they will change is when they receive enough, they are able to. That means when three things happen, people will change. First, when they hurt enough, when they learn enough, and when they receive enough, they have to, and then they are bound to change. So if you're trying to change people, see whether they have hurt enough. Many times people will not learn. So if they are getting success, don't expect them to change, because when they're in success, only rare people are humble during the success period. Whenever people are successful, they are not humble at all, and because of that, their success don't last for longer period. That means they have to hurt and they have to learn the lesson. And if you're mentoring those people, allow them to hurt. Allow them, trust me, until they go to that phase, they will never. I mean, I in one of the movie, though I'm not a very big movie fan, but I go once in a while some movie, and this movie was not very positive movie, but I liked one line in that movie. The movie was Kabir Singh, and in that there was time when he was getting hurted, and he was totally drunk and everything. So his grandmother was there, who could have influenced him. So the father of the son, Suresh Obra, he says, "Hey man, why don't you go and talk to him, because he listens to you. Probably he will stop drinking and he may become normal." And you know what her grandmother says? It was an amazing line. Her grandmother says, "I cannot help him. He have to go through this pain, because without going through this pain, he cannot become mature. Let him go through this pain, and if he can save himself, he'll be a great successful man. If he cannot, our bad luck." It was actually the whole movie. This was the best line I liked, because that was the moral of the whole story. That if people are going through the pain, it's like a caterpillar to butterfly. Let them go through the pain, because without going through the pain, they cannot learn lessons. And I know most of us as a parent, when our children are going through the pain, we have a tendency to help them. Don't help them. Let them go through the pain. If you're coaching and mentoring people, they're going through the pain, it's okay to go through. Just have some compassion for them, have heart for them, but let them go through it. It's okay, because until or unless they go through the pain cycle, they cannot understand lessons of life. Very, very important. So people stop growing too high. I mean, people stop growing when the price is too high. So that means there's a very thin line, because most of people quit too early. I mean, I have gone through pain of almost everything which I've learned. I have learned through pain only. But I could have quit also in between. If you quit in between, you cannot learn the lesson. That means people quit when the price is too high. And what is the price too high? It's a relative term. You will see same situation, two people. For one person, the pain is too huge, he cannot handle, and another person can go through it. It's a relative term. It means everybody cannot have the same stress handling capacity. It's all based on how much of experience he has gone through in life and how much open-minded he or she is. That means you cannot compare people for sure. This is the most important lesson. And what does it take? I believe there are two ingredients in your notes. It is there. I believe there are two ingredients necessary to make every change a masterpiece. I repeat again. There are two ingredients necessary to make change a masterpiece. Number one, there are decisions. In your notes, you can write down decisions and discipline. These two things are unbelievable. It likes they're the two sides of the same coin. In your notes, again, write down. There are two sides of the same coin. You could call them goal setting and goal getting. Now, these are the two things. Little bit, I'll take some time to explain you. Lot of us put lot of emphasis on taking a decision. Isn't it true? I see a lot of people, they make a decision. Decisions are as good as making New Year resolutions. Decisions alone are good for nothing because decisions are coming out of emotions. So always I attend event. Even I attend every year one or two big events. One of my big event is on August 29th. There'll be a big event at John Maxwell team. There is every year annually they meet twice, and the fees for it is by the $1,600. Overall, if you check, it will be $2,000 I have to pay. How much it cost me, by the way? 1,60,000 in Indian currency. It's almost 3 days event. Okay, 29th August, 30th August, 31st August. I'll be there, and I'll meet all the big leaders of the world across the globe because it'll be happening at a big level. And I'll be one thing I'll get out of this whole event will be a big vision. I may get a big vision. My expansion of dream will happen because when you meet big successful people, your dreaming capacity increase. My vision will expand in life. I'll become more big dreamer. But those 3 days after that, if I do not discipline myself and I do not put something in my to-do list, what will happen? It is a goal setting, but the goal getting will not happen. And I have found majority of people stuck in that. They all wait for a big event, they take decisions, but then the problem is decisions are not much, man. In your life, you don't have to take too many decisions. How about the first decision that in the next 5 years, I do not want my family to depend upon me as far as finances are concerned? How about creating financial stability for myself so that I don't care about job anymore? Now, when I say I don't care about job, even if you love a job, I do not want to do a job just because I want a salary. How about that first goal? I give you that decision. Take this decision today itself. Take this as a decision that in 2025, I will not be physically required to run my family as far as money is concerned. See, I gave you a good point. Take a decision. Now, after that decision, what will you do? Discipline is needed. Now, discipline is a problem. Because tomorrow morning, not tomorrow, Monday is the office, and I have a lot of people, a lot of my students are telling because of pandemic, the workload has increased too drastically. I know it is there for sure, but then what to do? It will increase, and day by day it is going to increase. If you do not discipline yourself, just day before yesterday, one interview of Ayushman Khurana, 3 minutes I was going through. It was an amazing interview. I liked it. The interview was, he was talking about how did he become successful, and they're talking about Sushant Singh's suicide or whatever it is. So he was telling, you know what, how I became successful, and I was impressed. Trust me, I was impressed by what he's talking. If I get that link, I'll send to all of you. Go through it. 3 minute interview. He said, man, I was working like a horse. He was sleeping only 3 hours a day. 3 hours a day only. And he was telling, I was not even sleeping on a bed. He was telling I was sleeping in taxi cabs. He was going from one place to another in Mumbai while going to office, and he used to always work on his work. And 3 hours only in cab, he said, I used to hire a driver. He used to drive me from, because Mumbai traffic is there, just going from his to studio place, only hours that we slept in two different slots. 3 hours he'll not sleep consistently. And he said, when I become successful, people tell success is luck. And he was feeling to slap them that there's no luck, boss. I was working hard for more than 20 hours a day. Think upon it, what we are talking about. Now, isn't it true? Success needs that much of effort, and you cannot expect to become successful just like that. That means goal setting and goal getting is as good as taking a decision. Decision is easy. I can give you 2 to 3 good decisions of your life. Create financial stability for yourself. How about developing your relationship? I give you 2 to 3 good decisions you can take. But now you need daily discipline. And how do you put daily discipline? In your calendar, my favorite book, so Robert Kiyosaki in Rich Dad Poor Dad, he says very categorically, feed yourself first, pay yourself first. That's what he says in his book. What it means, before I start my office work, my first thing I'll put in my calendar is, what about my dreams of my life? Has that been scheduled or is it left on toss? If it is left on toss, your life will be on toss. It means when I was running my venture along with my job, you know what I was doing? The first priority of mine was, boss, what am I putting my time in my venture? Because my venture is my P1 item, because my venture is going to give me my freedom. My venture is going to help me accomplish all my dream. Yes, job was hectic, but that is not an excuse not to succeed in my venture. That means my priority number one was first feed my business, then feed my job. People are doing exactly opposite. They feed their job first, and if time is left, they'll feed their business. They cannot accomplish their dream. What I mean to say is you have to stretch yourself. It means previously you were doing just a job, and along with the job you're putting 10 hours, and now you're thinking in the same comfort zone you can build. No, that means your time will be taken away from my favorite area, sleep. If you are sleeping before Starting any venture, you're sleeping for 8 hours, and now you're thinking I'll do my job and venture with same 8 hours sleep. Let me tell you bad news. Forget it. That 4 hours which I'm trying to take out, let me tell you a good news. That 4 hours you have to take out from your sleep. I know you didn't like it. You didn't like it. You're thinking, oh, that's why people don't become successful. It means time is same. You have to somehow take out this time from there only. There is no other time left. Trust me, there is no other time left. That's the only time I will take away from you. That find out this time. There is no excuse for your success. That means decision and discipline are twin brothers. One without other is incomplete. You have to make them complete together. Very, very important. If you do that, then what you will need is further, and that means I'll give you some 3 lines to know it. Good decisions minus daily discipline. In your notes, check it out. Good decisions minus daily discipline is a plan without a payoff. You take a good decision, but you don't have daily discipline, you will not get paid off. Your venture will not succeed. You will not accomplish any of your dreams. Your dreams will be unfulfilled. What to do? You will not. Second, you have good discipline. I know a lot of people who are working hard, but they don't take good decisions. What does it mean? Only working hard, but decisions are not good. As I told you, right? You know that in long term, you're, let's take it. I meet a lot of funny people every day. They say, sir, in long term, I don't want to do job. I said, then why are you worried about the bell curve anymore? In Hindi mein bolte ghanta. Why are you worried about bell curve anymore? Because that 5 to 10% of hike is taking away your 20% extra time. Is it worth? Because he's telling, so I'm just telling, just say to yourself what you're saying. On one side, you're saying, in long term, I don't want to do the job. On the other side, you're chasing that hike. Why? Are you confused or what? Come on, let's accept the truth. When you say in long term, you don't want to do a job, then first thing, what it means? Why are you so worried about impressing others? That means do good enough that you're in the bell curve, but you don't have to be in the extreme of the bell curve. Na? How does it matter? Because the extra 3 hours you have to find from somewhere. Where is that somewhere? From here only you have to find out. And that's what I did in my career. When I started chasing my venture, I realized I cannot be the best employee in my company. I will not get the best hike. I may be average performer in my job because that's what I'm supposed to do and get my done and move on in my life. Now, I did enough responsibility. What I mean to say is you have to become proactive in which area? Proactive, which is fulfilling and aligning to your life, not to somebody else's life. So I knew what I'm getting paid. If they're paying me 30 lakh salary, what are they expecting I will do? I am not going to do beyond that because I know I have to feed my family, I have to run my business. And that's the biggest error to do. People are confused. So now listen to yourself. When you say I want to succeed in my venture, and on the other side you're saying I want to become number one in my job, these two are contradicting. Check it out. Because anything you want to become number one in, you cannot do in 9 to 5 job. Trust me. That means somewhere down there you have to align few priorities of your life. Then only you can do. And that's what I always tell people: declutter your mind first. What you want. The last point was good decisions plus daily discipline. Good decisions plus daily discipline is a masterpiece of potential. So I repeat again all the three. If you have not noted down, write it down. They are very important. Good decisions minus daily discipline, a plan without a payoff. Okay. Second, good discipline, but you don't take good decisions. You cannot handle the good decisions. Then a regimentation without reward. You will have a lot of hard work. You'll have frustration, but your rewards will be limited. The last point was good decisions plus daily discipline is a masterpiece of potential. If you can do that, then it will work out. So in this, I'll end you with this chart. It is in your table. You can check it out. Either you're going to prepare or you're going to repair. Now, this is very interesting. There are 5 points I've kept in it. Either you're going to prepare in your life or you're going to repair. What is prepare? When you're focusing on today with future in mind, you are preparing. I repeat again. When you're focusing on today with future in mind, you're preparing. And what is repairing? Repairing is all about focusing on future. It means past. So what you're supposed to do in past, you did not do. So what you'll do is repair. See, now let's take an example. Day by day, stress in life is increasing. Certain things which you're supposed to do, you did not do. And now this will increase your pressure. I'll give a live example. There are time in my job, I have to learn Perl scripting. And when I learned Perl scripting, I was not learning, I was delaying it. So what was happening? I have to repair it. What do I repair? The work which can be done in 20 to 30 minutes by writing a small script. I have to invest 3 hours to run it. What was I doing? I was repairing. What was preparation? Okay, take out some time from my same work and learn Perl scripting. The learning pain was only 1 month maximum. Can you believe it? What I'm teaching you right now, I could not do it for more than a year. And then one day I realized, man, what the heck it is? I have to learn it. And I learned Perl scripting. 1 month I was really disturbed because you have to do your work and then figure out how to do Perl scripting and then start using it and make your life easier. See, simple work to do. That means when you're preparing or you're repairing. Second, preparation increases your efficiency. And repairing always consumes more time. Isn't it true? See, when I was not knowing Perl scripting, so I was investing more time, which I could have done so easily. But that doesn't matter because if you don't prepare, you will always repair. Preparation increases your confidence. Your confidence will be much higher. And repairing breeds discouragement. You will be discouraged. You will not have confidence anymore. because always you'll have struggling with time, struggling with everything. So you'll always get discouraged. Preparation saves you money, and repairing costs you more money. It increases your cost. Though it looks comfortable initially, but it increases your cost. Preparation is you're paying for tomorrow. It means things which are not required now, but you're doing. It's like in Stephen Covey's language, there are 4 quadrants. He said something which is not urgent, but it is important. Successful people focus on this only, and most of the people in the world are busy doing urgent and important. And anything which is urgent as important has come because we did not focus on this quadrant, which is not urgent, but it is important. See, when I was preparing for my job, I knew in next 5 years I do not want to depend myself on job, because who will take all the abuse in job and who will be so much worried about future? I do not want to be in. It means there was a preparation. When my job was good, my salary was good, I was getting good promotion. That point in time, building a business is impossible for 90% of the people. 90% people want to build their business when there is some problem in the job. Now, I already last time I covered, right? There's a sigmoid curve. I was talking. In a rising phase, it is easy to take something, but in a falling phase, that time survival is at stake. How will you do something? But most of people wait for the failure to start something, and it is not possible to do at that time. Trust me. The last point: preparation takes you to a higher level, and repairing becomes an obstacle to your growth. And the last point today I'll cover is this is simple example I've given a chart for you in your worksheet. If you see, there's a simple diagram I've given. The 10th point today is growth is modeled and expected. If you are a leader, you have, and all these 9 points which I said you, it's for you. If you are a leader, are you following this point? And then you have all the right to explain to others. And in this, I have given a mindset matrix. It's taken from John Maxwell itself. In that, they have given 4 quadrants: present plus, future plus, present minus, future minus. It is already written, self-explanatory. In present plus, what happens? They're successful people. Present plus people is successful people. Future plus people are significance oriented people. They have success, but they're thinking still for more in their life to help others to grow beyond. So present plus, what is the mindset? We don't want to lose. It's like kingdom phase. You are successful, so you want to keep your kingdom. You don't want to lose what you have. And in future plus, what you do? You want to move from present and imagine new payoffs for future. Present minus and future minus is not a good one for sure. Present minus is we are in status quo. If you check out in the chart, it's already written, so you don't have to write anything. We are in a status quo. Everything remains the same. We have the same problems and challenges. Nothing changes. These are the people who are always frustrated. Always. Future minus. We don't want to create this. Don't create for the short term. We want plus long term. The game is played. We always face in this direction, already written. So folks, this was what I wanted to cover today. And in this combinedly 2 session, in the final, there is a chart which is given to all of you. There are 10 points which has been given. And in this 10 points, be honest, last 5 points today I have covered, and previous 5 points I covered last week. All these points, rate yourself, and I would want you to come to, as soon as possible, near to 4 and up, 4 plus. Out of 1 to 5 scale, rate yourself 4 plus in next 1 year. Their chances are high. You might not be in all the areas 5 right now. I was also not. Till now, it is a work in progress. Some areas I am still working. But out of 10, I can tell you 7 I have mastered. Other 3 I may be working. Till now, it is work in progress, and it will be work in progress. Presently, you might be at 2 or 3 only. Doesn't matter. But my question to you is this: through PIM, I can take you through all these 10 points faster. And that's what I wanted to cover. Apply them. And before we go further, we can have a question answer session. And we can take 4-5 questions for sure. Over to you. So if we can go sequentially, whoever has raised the hand first, we can take them first, so that we can answer there and we can go through it. So Vishwa, you can go ahead.
Thanks, Vijay. I'll invite Bini. So Bini has raised his hand. So let me unmute. Yeah, please go ahead. I have unmuted from my end. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good evening. Basically, my question is that in a leadership role, the top management always expects more quantity and volume to be delivered, but they are not concerned about quality. So, how to manage their expectations and keep a fine balance between the quantity of work delivered and also the quality of work delivered? Because quality, if we do not adhere to quality, it will just increase the quantity in terms of fraud defects coming to us. So we will only have to deal with those. So how do we maintain that balance and manage their expectations?
First thing I will recommend you is in this is Rich Dad Poor Dad, chapter number 1 and chapter number 2. Read it. You'll get answer to this question, because answer it here. Reason being, and you have seen a lot of ad also. I have you seen this in LinkedIn? A lot of videos come, small videos. There was one video. I mean, just when you trade, I just recall this video in mind, when there was a group of people standing there was chocolate vending machine. Chocolates are going on, and you have to put it wrapper and put it up. Wrapper, you put it up. If you're able to put it, then they have increased the speed of that roller. Have you seen? I mean, I'm sure you might have seen. In LinkedIn, it is a viral video. You might have seen it. Just I think 30-second video. So they keep on. So in job, remember this. Why I'm telling you this. In job, remember this. Very few people can go to the extent where they can appreciate people. Typically, service companies, they always give you unrealistic target. That's what I told you last time also, right? When I was in job, I was able to see this happening in my future. I was able to see it very clearly. It is happening in my future. That I'll keep on working and nothing will be in my control. Because first, as the last time also told, right? When appraisal time comes, manager is changed. Now the new manager, he do not know, and he says, I have no idea what you performed. If they keep me itself is a big achievement. Forget the work. They're thinking my job itself is achievement now because the manager is changed. I could have fired. I mean, that's how they said. And one day I realized, twice I got fooled like this. Then I said, man, enough is enough. My decision is taken that I am not going to rely on job. Having said that, second thing I'll tell you, this is my mindset. So long-term solution I gave you right now. The long-term solution is don't rely on job. That is a long-term solution. Immediate solution to it is read another book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's another book which I recommended. Five books I recommend to people for simple success. How to Win Friends and Influence People can give you how to build relationship with people politely. I'll tell you when I was dealing with this situation, what I did. So I given long-term solution already. Now let me give a short-term solution. It's a temporary fix, but it is not a permanent fix. Trust me, because they'll always expect you more. So temporary fix was I'll build relationship. I'll talk to him. I'll try to explain him. First, always say yes. I'll tell you a very interesting line to do it. Try it out. It will work tomorrow morning itself. You try it will work. Sit one if possible. Nowadays, obviously, you cannot meet face to face. At least on Zoom call or whatever you are using, sit them and tell them, I wanted to discuss something and I want to understand. Always say, never say no. The moment you say no, you are in trouble. Okay, because that's how job works. So you say yes. Always learn to say yes first and then say no. How I'll tell you. So I'll say yes. What you said is right. So sir, I'm a little confused because already my last week you gave me this project. It is working on. So my calendar somehow I'm not able to do. Is there something which you can do better? Because if you want, I can remove this project from my priority list and I can put it in. And you show them. And I know despite that, I'll tell you what they'll do. They'll show you that no, people can do more better way and all these things. So if this happens, be ready to take blame and do good enough work which you can do. But I'm telling in my experience, after 12 to 13 years in job, most of the job is not happy anymore. And in my last, if you have been consistent my session, I told you in your CTC, 40% component of your CTC after 12 years experience is for abuse and blame, not for work. And if you're a director level, 60 to 70% is salaries for abuse, blame, criticism, and 30 to 40% for work. So that is the truth for life. So better be prepared for it to handle. And if you want to come out of this trap in long term, then find out a way out so that you don't have to do job in next 5 years. That's a solution, permanent solution. The temporary solution, permanent solution, I've given both. Find out which is working out for you. And if nothing works out, PIM is there to help you out anyways. So this can definitely help you. But question was very nice. It's a genuine problem for most of us. So 2 books I've recommended you. Rich Dad Poor Dad, 2 chapters I've given you, chapter 1 and chapter 2. And I've told you to read How to Win Friends and Influence People, because that will give you the permanent solution, long term and short term both.
Thank you, sir.
You try it out and let me know.
Next. Samir. I unmuted you. Please go ahead.
Yes, Samir, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Samir.
Yeah, good evening, sir. It was really awesome session and really inspiring session. So my question is, like you talked about decision making or making your dream, like planning your dream, and according to that we have to prepare for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sir, as a like initial stage, and we are working as a developer. Suppose I am working as a developer level, like software developer. So basically we have a lot of things, like unless and until we have proper plan and do something, like you said, like you have to keep on trying different areas. What are your strength and weakness? Based on that, you have to plan and all.
True.
So sir, in the initial stage, we don't have experience. So how to, sir, actually plan your short-term goals and long-term goals, and based on that, how to practice on it? So how to put your extra effort
total,
on?
How many years
like
experience you have? Samir, total how many years experience you have?
Sir, I have total 5 years experience.
Very nice. You are quite
in IT
young.
domain.
It means your age is right now around 28 or 29.
Yeah, exactly. 27, sir. Yes.
Perfect. Good. I'll give you. You are so lucky. I feel lucky. You know why? You are at the young age. If somebody is mentorship program, they're really lucky. They're really lucky. Good. So let me summarize your question.
I'm really blessed to, Yes,
let me summarize your question. Your question is this. You are quite young, so you do not know what is your right passion and all. What is the long term and short term? How do you find out? So I'll tell you one good idea. I'll show you all the 3 curve, which is very interesting curve. And you ask the right question, it will help all others also. First thing, see this curve carefully, which I was talking in my plan to discussion also today. This is known as sigmoid curve. We have success and this is time. So right now, you have 5 years experience, so you might be in the red curve in the initial phase. Okay, take it this, when the point A se aap niche chale jao, where the curve is rising, you might be at this phase right now where the curve has started rising. Okay, you have enough time, and you'll go to the maximum point is A, which can be, let's say you are after 15 years experience, you might be a company senior manager or director. That's the maximum peak. After that, your peak has to fall. That is life. Okay, now I consider yourself blessed that you are right now in mentorship program where you are just at the beginning. At least now you can think. So this is the first point. So it means this is the time you can invest on the blue curve. What is the blue curve? Anything you do, let's say you start your venture, let's say you want to experiment something, you have to invest your time, you have to invest your money, you have to invest your effort, and results will not come. Because what is a good time? When already your results are coming in your job, you're getting a salary. There's a time to start something, do something, so that in next 2 to 3 years, this blue curve can start feeding your family. That's a one of the way of thinking. Okay. Now let me show you another thing, another curve. How to plan out a long-term and short-term plan? This is the way I'll plan out if I was like you, because that's what John Maxwell gave me when I started into mentorship program. This is what he gave me. It's known as wheel of life. Ideally, if you can balance this entire wheel by the time, let's say you're at the age of 50, right now you're 27, you have 25 years to balance this wheel. Right now you might not be even married. So you have enough time to balance this wheel. How do you plan? Right now, most of the time is going in career, correct or not? Career and money is where your time is going on. Now
Exactly.
there are 6 other components. Good that you now know these components. Now this is a theoretical curve for you because you may not understand the meaning of it. I have translated this theoretical curve into a real curve for you. How? This is the real curve which I have created from my experience of mentoring and coaching. This is not the exhaustive list. We can expand it more. I found these 13 categories which are good for a human life. It can be legacy, there are skill sets, there are experiences of life, the relationship. You have to become better person, becoming famous. Why not? All of us want popularity. Eventually you'll have kids also. There'll be retirement plan also. There'll be growth atmosphere also. I have covered like this 13 categories. These all diagrams, by the way, those whoever invited you, you can get from them. Nothing to worry. Now what I'm trying to say, long-term plan is this. Okay, short-term plan is what? Let me talk about what is short-term plan. Short-term plan is, again, first you have to have a salary, that is for sure, because I'm sure if you're doing job, you might be somebody like me who is a middle class family person who obviously cannot take a big circus and big risk. So short-term and long-term plan, the only enemy of your long-term plan is your theoretical mindset. What is theoretical mindset? First and foremost, come into surrender state of life. What is surrender state of life? Surrender state of life is a life where you start learning, and learning always happens when you start accepting first that, sir, I do not have knowledge. Then only you learn, right? Otherwise, how will you learn? As long as you believe I know everything, can you learn anything? No, not possible. That means first thing you have to get into surrender phase of life. And in 2008 I came to surrender phase. I said, yeah, I am from IIT, that's great. I am working in Qualcomm, that is also great, but a lot of things I want to accomplish. When I was seeing the wheel of life, I saw in my wheel of life there are 5 components which are missing right now, and I have to add them. Then I said, I am not aware of it. How do I do it? First, I surrendered that I don't have any option also. This is another thing I'm telling you. Why I say this, there is no option. I realized one day when I cannot quit my job, I don't have any money to start, nothing I can do. First, I don't have option. That means somebody has to handhold me, somebody can mentor me, and trust me, the moment I said I don't have option, it was not a symbol of weakness. It was a symbol of strength. That, oh, when I don't have any option, so what happened? Immediately I become a receptor. If opportunity came, rather than throwing it up, I said, man, give it to me, give it to me. It's like, hota na? We have 5 offer letters, what will you do? You'll choose. I realize that I don't have any offer letter. My life is only one offer letter, job is there. उसके अलावा अगर मुझे कुछ भी setup करना है, somebody has to help me. Some directions are needed. So that is what I can tell you. If I summarize the whole line, I showed you 3 curve for a long term and short term. Short term, you want to grow in your career, for sure, focus on it. Long term, what you need is align this wheel of life, see these outcomes. As of now, you may not realize. But if you ask me generic skill set of life, which you need for sure, technical skill can only take you to one particular level. Trust me, anybody who is in corporate career successful also check it out. Technical knowledge may not be that much, because technical things somehow somebody can do. Working with people will be the most difficult. That means in long term, you have to learn how to work with people. You have to learn how to negotiate. Selling is a word which a lot of people are scared of. Now, selling is a very interesting thing, by the way. Selling is nothing but communicating properly so that people can understand your point of view. That is selling. And if you ask me, Narayan Modi salesman, Narendra Modi salesman, all successful salesmen only, they are able to sell their idea. So that means you have to learn the skill sets also. These are generic. No matter what you do, if you have sales, marketing, training, developing people, mentoring people, if these skill sets you can learn in practical way. What is the good news? Right now you're 27. In 5 years, I can assure you can learn this skill set. When you're learning this skill set, you'll need an opportunity, and I help a lot of people in that also, and we can help it out. If you really, if you find you that passion is there, I can take you as in my mentorship wing personally in long run. but go through it first. Once you go through them and find out in the right direction, we can definitely help you out, and that is how you will make out. But I'm very happy about you that you're young and you're in a mentorship program. Very few people at your age have the maturity to come into mentorship program. Very few, trust me. But I'm so happy about you. Keep learning and keep growing.
Thank you so much, sir. That answers my question. Yeah, thank you.
Good, go ahead.
Archit?
Arijit, right?
Arijit, you have unmuted you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi Vijay. Actually, I have a question regarding the interview told about Ayushman Khurrana, right? That he worked nearly for 20 hours a day to get a success point, right? So, but suppose I am reducing my sleep or maybe other areas. Definitely, I can reduce my distraction like mobile and everything. But if I challenge my sleeping and every habit, and maybe I am working for say 20 hours a day, would not it be little unhealthy in a long run? It would not it
Yes.
be exhausted?
It's a very valid point. It's a very valid point. It's a debatable point. From a lot of people have debated on this topic, to be very honest. Sadhguru says 3 hours sleep is needed. A lot of people are, it's a debatable topic. But what I'll tell you what will happen. It's a natural thing. You will be going to natural progression. Trust me. If I have to force you, it will not work. I repeat again. If somebody has to force you, it will not work. It will come naturally to you. I'll tell you what I mean to say. Let's say I have so much of work which I have to do, and again, it comes out of happiness only. It cannot come without happiness. I can show you one video of Sadhguru. If it is there, so you can see the link is there. If you can find out that, and you can send it to them. I saw it. And what I'm trying to tell you, temporary phase of life. Even Sachin Tendulkar, take an example. He's a sportsman. They need more physical health than us, right? Sachin Tendulkar, when he was in the preparation phase of his life, if you remember, in his autobiography, I've read categorically, he was sleeping in the, and he one of the classical match he was talking when Saurav Ganguly was the captain, and he was telling Tendulkar was the whole night he was dreaming. He was practicing in his mind, and he was thinking, man, aise karenge, and he could not sleep for a whole night. Now Saurav Ganguly was really worried. Man, this guy is tired now. How will he play in the field? And he was sleeping in the dining table. And he said, "Jab mera time aayega, main utha dena." If somebody gets out, he was sleeping with his pad on the. When Ganguly was in real tension, what will happen, man? This guy has not slept for a whole night, and that match he prepared century. So he was telling that practice actually जुनून से आता है. और जब तक पैशन नहीं आएगा ना, see, if you do not have something worthwhile doing it, trust me, you will not do. You all have, I'm sure, कभी ना कभी लाइफ में बड़े एग्जाम दिए होंगे. एग्जाम के टाइम पे you will see you don't feel sleep. Why? Because it happens. So ऐसा नहीं कि वो लाइफ लॉन्ग करा हुआ. He was talking when he was chasing his dream. Eventually you'll balance it out, but एक टाइम आएगा 4-5 years का, जब मैं अपने entrepreneurship को chase कर रहा था, when I was having a job also and entrepreneurship, that point time, that 4-5 years was really of my life where I was really coming out of it. अब success से significance से कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा ना, अपने आप तो नहीं होगा. उस समय मैंने किया, but long term में now I can sleep peacefully. But अभी मैं बता रहा हूँ, होता क्या है ना, धीरे धीरे जितना बड़ा गोल होगा, धीरे धीरे तुम्हारा गायब हो जाएगा, वो अपने आप होगा. इट्स अ नेचुरल वे ऑफ डूइंग इट. लाइक इफ समबडी हैज टू फोर्सफुली टेल यू तुम पतले हो जाओ, वो नहीं काम करने वाला. जिस दिन तुम्हारे अंदर से आवाज आएगी, बॉस मुझे पतला होना है, उस दिन तुमको मिठाई खाने की इच्छा नहीं होगी. अभी तुमको कितना बोला मिठा मत खाओ, तो तुमको इरिटेशन हो रहा है, हट तुम फालतू बात करो, मुझे खाने दो. तुम यू विल गो राइट और नॉट. बट जिस दिन खुद का डिजायर हो गया, यार मुझे होना है, उस दिन मैं बता रहा हूँ दोस्त, तुम्हारी नींद खुद गायब हो जाएगी. You don't have to. If I have to tell you keep wake, then it will be forceful. And anything which, if the pressure is from outside, the egg will become omelette. If the egg is broken from inside, it will convert into a chicken. That's the whole discussion. I mean, so that's how it will work out. So don't worry about it. Eventually it will happen. Stay with PIM. You will be stretched automatically. Don't worry. I assure you. तुम 1 साल PIM में रहो, तुम्हारा 2 घंटे sleeping quota कम अपने आप हो जाएगा. Guarantee है मेरी. I have taken a sleep of a lot of people and I enjoy doing it. I take pride in that. You will also do it. Don't worry. But it should come out of fun, okay? It will naturally come. Don't worry. Next is there. Manjesh is there.
Manjesh, I have unmuted you. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Haji Manjesh.
Am I audible?
Yeah, bilkul audible.
Yeah. Good evening, Vijay. Thanks, Vijay. Thanks a lot for having this powerful session. And as I always told, that your session is more of like practical related, not theoretical, and it can be, any layman can understand that how to relate into the life. And my question, Vijay, where it comes to, like, from, as you said, that most challenge from the leadership lows comes, it's quitting on people.
True.
And that's where, because as I also understand that our human mind is wired with our past experiences or knowledge which we have gained. It is wired. And when we see that these are the points or these are the milestones leading to me to again to such point where it has ended to distrust, because I am trying to build trust and all, and I have seen in my mind it is clicking that first alarm rang, second alarm rang, and this has happened in the past, and this would lead to the distrust. So how to rewire our such mind and memories so that just to avoid those alarms and keep on traveling that path. That's
very
what I
valid
wanted
question.
to
बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है
give your perspective.
और हर सेल्स वाले का क्वेश्चन होता है because you are also in sales profile. So these questions are typically sales guys
Thanks,
more
Vijay.
people compared to technical guy. टेक्निकल बंदे मुश्किल से अपनी लाइफ में 10 लोगों को एम्पावर करते हैं और उसमें 4 क्विट करते हैं और हार्ड हो जाते हैं. सेल्स वालों को बेचारों को इतना इन्वेस्ट करना पड़ता है टाइम, इतने कस्टमर से टाइम इन्वेस्ट करो, फिर वो तुमसे नहीं खरीद के किसी और से खरीद लेता है. तो सेल्स वालों का इमोशनल अत्याचार ज्यादा होता है. तो आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड योर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू एंड आई डेफिनेटली अंडरस्टैंड. बट हमेशा मैं अच्छा एग्जांपल देता हूँ. मैं अपने पर्सनल एग्जांपल से दूंगा. आई डोंट वांट टू गिव एनी थ्योरेटिकल एग्जांपल. मैं भी सेल्स मार्केटिंग करता हूँ, मैं भी लोगों में टाइम इन्वेस्ट करता हूँ. तो मैंने एक रूल बनाया. इतना ईजी नहीं है, मैं बता रहा हूँ, इतना ईजी नहीं है. तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, लेट्स से नाउ आई एम, एज्यूम करो मेरे को 10 लोगों ने क्विट कर दिया, ठीक है. अब जब मैं 11वें बंदे से मिलता हूँ, ऑब्वियसली थॉट आती है. टू बी ऑनेस्ट, इफ ऐसे थॉट ही नहीं आया तो गलत होगा. आई एम नॉट अ गॉड, आई एम आल्सो ह्यूमन बीइंग. थॉट आते हैं मेरे दिमाग में, यार वही फिर से डालूंगा टाइम, ये बंदा फिर भाग जाएगा. बट देन आई हैव मेड माय पर्सनल वे ऑफ डूइंग थिंग्स. हाउ टू कम आउट ऑफ दिस ट्रैप इज, अगर मंजेश ने मेरे साथ में कोई गलती नहीं करी है तो मैं मंजेश को टाइम दूंगा, ठीक है. तो अज्यूम करो मैंने मंजेश के पहले 2 लोगों को टाइम दिया. अगर मंजेश एज अ पर्सन ही इज नॉट डन एनीथिंग रॉन्ग, आई विल ट्रस्ट हिम. जो जितने भी लोग स्केप्टिक होते हैं, स्केप्टिसिज्म आती कहां से है? यहीं से तो आती है कि आपको पहले पास्ट में 5-6 चीज हो गई. टेक एन एग्जांपल, आप कोई बंदा बैंगलोर में नया नया आया और उतरते ही एक ऑटो वाले ने उसको लूट लिया. अब उसे पता चला वो ऑटो वाला तमिलियन था, अज्यूम करते हैं तमिलियन था. तो भाई जैसे वो पहुंचा, उसको तमिलियन ने उसका, ऑटो वाले ने उसका पैसा ले लिया. फिर देखा कुल्ली आया, कुल्ली भी तमिलियन निकला, वो भी उसके सामान लेके भाग गया. अब भाई साहब जो ओनर आया, ओनर भी तमिलियन निकला, वो भी उसका एडवांस का पैसा लेके भाग गया. अब उसके हिसाब से तमिलनाडु क्या हो गया? तमिलनाडु भैया ट्रस्टेबल नहीं है, सारे लोग तमिलनाडु के बेकार है. अब उसकी किस्मत खराब बेचारे की, 3 तमिलियन आए, तीनों के तीनों गलत निकल गए, तो उसका परसेप्शन करेक्ट है. तो मैंने क्या देखा, इजी नहीं है. मैं अपने एक्सपीरियंस से बता रहा हूँ. पहले 5-6 साल मैं भी इसमें बहुत विक्टिमाइज हुआ था. लोगों पे ट्रस्ट करना मैंने बंद कर दिया था. स्टॉप ट्रस्टिंग ऑन पीपल एंड देन आई रियलाइज इफ आई डोंट ट्रस्ट ऑन पीपल एंड आई डोंट इन्वेस्ट ऑन पीपल, लाइफ वैसे भी डिफिकल्ट होने वाली है. जो बिना लोगों के कोई काम हो ही नहीं पाएगा. देन आई रियलाइज इट्स ओके, इन्वेस्ट करो, जो जाएंगे सो जाएंगे. और नेचुरली मेरे एक लाइफ का रियलिटी समझ में आ चुका है. लेकिन जॉब में इतना इजी नहीं है कि ना, जॉब में कुछ भी आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं है. खासकर जब आप लॉन्ग टर्म में एंटरप्रेन्योर बनोगे, तब मैं बता रहा हूँ, तब तो और ज्यादा जरूरत पड़ेगी कि आप लोगों में इन्वेस्ट करोगे. जब वो चले जाएंगे ना, फिर भी लोगों में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. मैं आप भी करता हूँ, मतलब अभी मैं लोगों में इन्वेस्ट करता हूँ. तो मैंने एक रूल बना लिया है, एट एवरी ईयर लेट्स से आई एम इन्वेस्टिंग ऑन माय टाइम ऑन 100 पीपल. एवरी ईयर आई इन्वेस्ट. उसमें से कुछ 100 में से 30-40 लोग चले जाते हैं, कुछ लंबे समय तक रह जाते हैं. जो लंबे समय तक रह जाते हैं मेरे साथ, उनके साथ मेरा हिसाब किताब पूरा फाइनली सेटल हो जाए. इसका मतलब गॉड हैज अ रिवॉर्डिंग सिस्टम. इफ आई इन्वेस्ट माय टाइम ऑन 100 पीपल, इवन इफ 90 क्विट, 10 विल गिव मी माय रिवॉर्ड मोर देन दिस. नहीं तो लाइफ बहुत बेटर हो जाएगी. सही बता रहा हूँ मैं. इतने स्केप्टिक हो जाओगे, हर चीज पे डाउट करोगे, शांति सो ही नहीं पाओगे, दुखी रहोगे, वो तुम्हारी चैन को छीन लेगा. तो ऐसी जिंदगी जी करोगे क्या? दैट्स व्हाई इट इज सो इंपॉर्टेंट. आई एम नॉट फॉरगिविंग पीपल एंड मूविंग ऑन फॉर देम देयर बेनिफिट, फॉर माय बेनिफिट आई एम डूइंग इट. तो मैंने तो यही किया. मैं ये पर्सपेक्टिव चेंज कर लिया कि मुझे लोगों पे इन्वेस्ट करना. लोग जाएंगे, उनकी मर्जी है. इनफैक्ट John Maxwell always says this line, and he says this: if you are a leader, you ask this question to yourself: why should I lead this organization? क्या मैं इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वैल्यू ऐड कर पा रहा हूँ? अगर मैं नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, इट्स ओके. सपोज आज मैं कर रहा हूँ, कोई बंदा मेरे पास नहीं आके बोला, सर मेरे को इससे वैल्यूएशन कहीं और मिल रहा है, टू एक्सेप्ट द ट्रूथ. यस, ग्रेट, व्हाई नॉट. ही ऑलवेज सेज कि अगर आप कंपनी के मालिक हो, नेवर क्रिएट सम रूल बुक्स कि तुम मेरी कंपनी में रहो. इफ दे बिलीव देयर फ्यूचर इज ब्राइट समवेयर एल्स, गिव देम अ चांस टू गो अहेड and don't get embarrassed about it. It's okay. See in the mirror and observe. ठीक है, move on कर लो, क्या दिक्कत क्या है. बट ये आसान नहीं है. I'm telling you, आसान नहीं है. वक्त के साथ आएगा. लेकिन अगर हार्ड हो गए ना, तो फ्यूचर डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा. That's the only way it will work out. Because people. कुछ नहीं कर सकते हम.
Okay, thanks a lot, Vijay.
Very nice. Next couple of questions we can take. And by the way, if I am not able to answer all your questions, don't worry. YouTube में आप मेरे को question पूछ सकते हो. I can definitely go through it and it will definitely work out. So nothing to worry. Next, I think 2 more questions we can take.
Nishant?
Nishant, you can go ahead.
Yeah, please go ahead. I have unmuted you.
Yeah, Nishant.
Hey, Vijay, able to hear me?
Good evening.
Hey, how are you? So, so my question is actually it's related to people. So I'm at the director level, and for almost now I'll complete 20 years in July 24th within the same company, unlike yours. But my struggle of life is a bit different than yours. But that I'll keep it for later, if in case I connect with you sometime. My question is related to unlike a lot of other leaders in my company, I have this knack of investing a lot with people. And that came naturally to me in due course, and nobody was like, I mean, everybody was very delivery focused, and if you have some weight pullers in the company, you invest in them blue-eyed boys, and then rest are the followers. But for me, it was more like investing on somebody who is the slowest in the lot. Even if I move 1%, that 80% lot means a lot, because other guys who are very good, they will manage their career. You have to just give them the opportunity. Now, what I see is that with that kind of investment, I've seen a huge difference in terms of how teams have worked with me. Personally, I compare to other leaders across, they have different strength. But for me, the fort, we call it focus, ownership, and trust. Trust side, the score has been very high. And actually, when you say people are the people are the people, I have literally seen that for last probably 7-8 years now, the employees who work with me are very well connected, because I don't consider them as people who are reporting to me. I try to be very friendly with them, very connected. I don't consider myself as a manager. First of all, that's the problem, right? I consider myself as a college friend for them, and then have jokes with them, crack with them, and the kind of feeds you are giving me in these sessions. I mean, some of them definitely comes naturally to me and apply. I see the results. And what I've also seen is like, because of this unique ability, and you also mentioned that this is not there always with a lot of leaders out there, while they are very technically good and all. But with this unique ability, somehow the company also realizes that and keeps investing. I get a lot of satisfaction from there. I have my spiritual investment also going, which actually I'm able to connect, and I get a lot of benefit for, like you mentioned in one of the sessions, that you every day is going to Bhagavad Gita session. I think you, and probably that's, and I have invested that in last 7-8 years on that, that I bring to my job, and I see a kind of a detached way of working, and a lot of outcome is coming out there. When there are a lot of young guys in this session, I understand, and there is a different aspiration. Now, at this point, I see that, call it that, yeah, I mean, when I'm investing in people, I'm able to mobilize, I'm able to do a lot of different things with them. Even outside of the work, there is an investment which I do, like peak impact mentorship you have. Something like that on the spiritual side I do, and I see a lot of changes there as well. Idea is to start investing. A half-time book you had suggested to me some long time back in the session. So I read more than half of that, still continuing.
Yes.
But there also I saw that how the author actually moved from the first half to the second half, and he talked about the church and stuff. And I was able to correlate with that, and I have been investing in that area a lot. And I see that in the company side, I'm able to invest with the engineers, and I see a lot of changes in them, and I don't care that I'm getting promoted for that or not. That's not my objective. What happens, it happens. I mean, money sabko chahiye. But outside of it, when spiritual side and all, I'm investing a lot. I see that the family's life is changing. There's something which you are able to do different, which I thought I'm not eligible for doing, and in due course I realized. And that's where I feel a lot of value that I'm bringing to the society, right? So again, so like your sigmoid curve you showed, for me it's more like getting out of this and moving to that, while family should become more self-dependent with 2 kids and all I have. So that's where it is, Vijay. So I am able to correlate, but not in a way that I have to run behind money and become entrepreneur sort, but I am seeing a very different, if you understand what I'm trying to say. I don't know if
I can understand. You're trying to express your feelings, by the way, so I understand your feelings.
Yes, I'm more than a question. I want to connect, and because I'm not, you're a busy person, so I mean sometimes, I mean, I had asked for one phone call with you, but
nothing to worry. We can definitely correct sometime. Nothing to worry. But I like it because I like your sincerity. You are with PIM for more than 6 months now, right? Consistently, you have been attending. That's very nice. I'm happy to have you here, and I know you're trying to express your feelings. You're trying to express your gratitude, and you're trying to express that it is connecting with you. That's what you are trying to express, actually. Correct? So very nice. Thank you so much. We can take one more question, and we can and all of you, I'll tell you before I take the last question, make it a habit, try to do it. So whatever I learned today, go to LinkedIn, go to Facebook. The reason I'm trying to spread awareness of peak impact mentorship to a lot of people. Why? Because a lot of people need it. It is not only from business point of view. Business is one aspect for sure. 10% business interest is always there, no doubt in it. But more or less, it's about coming from the context of helping more people, because personal experience is more. See, Getting fake reviews is much easier. I don't, because a lot of people can get it. I don't believe in that. What I believe is, if something is adding value to you, don't keep it with you. Pass it on to 5 more people. That's the best way you can add value to more society. And we can take one last question before you go. But when I say last question, don't worry. I'll come up to a smaller group. I keep participating in small book clubs also. I'll come to one of the this week also. I'll come to 3 book clubs, and I'll make sure I'll answer question at a smaller level. And don't hesitate to ask your question in YouTube. You can comment on them. I will definitely. I make sure that I comment the all the questions come to me as far as possible. So one last question we can take. I think we can take Suresh's question. Suresh Narayan, we can take your question. Go ahead.
Yeah. Suresh, you can go ahead. I have unmuted from mine. Suresh.
Yes, sir. Good evening. I'm Suresh. I was mentored by Karthik Chandra. So today was a nice session. This is my second session of yours. So it's quite happy to me and excited all your things. And I was correlated what your personal experience you shared with me. Actually, in today my corporate life is happening what you said. Actually, I feel a lot of things and like related to the positive attitude and motivational and failure stories. It's all related to me. I want one questions here this company politics and this branding, marketing, this all the things. How to overcome this one and get shine in this job. Actually, I was thinking to change. I don't know how to change myself as a long term. Actually, I was started 2 weeks only ago. This book reading club is quite changing my life. Actually, I see my changes. So how to change my ideas into the my long term goals.
All right. So this question is quite similar to the first question I answered. See, long-term and short-term goal. First, be part of a book reading club, and all the 3 graphs which I showed you: sigmoid curve. I showed you the wheel of life. How many years experience you have total?
8 years experience. Sir.
8 years. That means you are close to how much? You are at 32, around 30, 32.
30, sir.
30. Perfect. This is the best. This is the exact age when I started getting into mentorship program.
That's why I was. That's why I correlated your age and you're saying experience, everything, your failures, whatever face in a company, everything was related to me. That's why.
Correct. So who is your host today?
Today, my mentor was Karthik Chandra. Host was Vishwanath only.
Okay, very nice, very nice. So what first thing I will tell you, be part of this growth atmosphere and try to see as I told, right, the earlier you get first, I found as long as we have the pressure of making money. I am telling you my personal experience. Where I was growing my corporate ladder at the time. Then a time came when I don't want to work in corporate anymore. That was another time of mine which every human being after working for 15, 20 years, you will feel this feeling that I don't want to work lifelong. That is one thing which everybody feels. But again, we have our responsibility to take care because I am also father to somebody. I am also son to somebody.
Agreed, sir.
Right now, you might not be having kids, but you will have in future for sure. When you'll get married, you will have it. So what's the good news? 30th is the age. This age, next 5 years, I'll give a simple roadmap. Do not depend upon job as far as finances are concerned. If it is your passion, if you feel this is what I want to do lifelong, keep doing it, but not for money purpose. But when I say not for money purpose, money is needed to run your life, right? So that's why I always tell money should not be the driving. That's why I'm running PIM. Money will I'll make, definitely I'll make money. But is that the only driving factor? No. 10% is the money driving factor. 90% of my drive is somewhere else. 90% of my drive is when I know today night at least 100, 200 people will be really in thinking mode. They'll think about the future. That is my happiness. So similarly, I'll tell you, this is a roadmap in long term. In next 5 years, this should be your goal. Because this one goal can actually help you to accomplish all your goals. Now, this is in case of 30. What if you are right now 44? Still, I'm telling you, 5 years from now, you are 49 only. After that also you'll have 20 years. Jab aankh khule tab savera. That's what they say, right? Whenever you wake up, that is the first day of your life. So today is the last day of your yesterday. Today is the first day of your future. Trust me, start from today. No point in getting into regret mode. No point in anything else. PIM is there for you. Be part of all the session. And all of you can go through my Laws of Growth course and Failing Forward course. These 2 courses are the best course you can go through and learn from them. This is worth investment of your life. This 1600 rupees is the best investment you can do on your future. That's why I can tell you, folks, it was great talking to all of you. I could have taken more questions, but already we are close to 11. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask on YouTube. I would come to a lot of the book reading club and make sure that we can connect more and more. And I'll connect to you at a smaller level, and it'll be great to talk to you. Thank you so much. Back to you, Viswa. We are done for the day.
Thank you, Vijay. It was one of the wonderful session. I hope you all have enjoyed. So I would say that get back to the person who has invited you. He can help you and get the recordings and go through a lot, and it will be very, very helpful for you. So that's what we want to say, and talk with the person who has invited you. They run the health club also. Be part of it and stay safe and stay healthy. With this, we are done, and bye. Good night to all.